Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Greeting you on an overcast day from Forbes Field in Pittsburgh with the opening of the 1970 season for the defending world champion New York Mets. Here at game time, the skies are overcast. It is a rather nippy 48 degrees. Not much of a breeze, not enough to be a factor in the ball game. The playing field slightly damp, but in pretty good condition. The starting pitchers of this opening day game for the New York Mets, the Cy Young Award winner, their ace right-hander, who last year won 25 and lost only 7, Tom Seaver. And on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates in today's opener, also their ace right-hander, a 16-game winner last season, right-hander Steve Blass.
Our national anthem sung by Brenda Lee. Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, following our national anthem sung by recording star Brenda Lee. Overcast skies, 48-degree temperatures. It is about time to say play ball. And for the starting lineups and batting orders for today's opening game, our colleague, Mr. Ralph Kainer.
All right, Bob Murphy, and hi, everyone. And as we get set for the lineup, Mrs. Hannes Wagner is going to throw out the first ball here at Forbes Field. Of course, in memory of one of the greatest ball players of all time, Hans Wagner. For the New York Mets, the leadoff batter will be Tommy Agee in center field. Batting second at shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Batting third and playing third base, Joe Foy. Batting fourth in left field, Cleon Jones. Batting fifth at first base, Art Shamsky. Batting sixth in right field, Ron Swoboda. Batting seventh and playing second base, Wayne Garrett. Batting eighth and catching, Jerry Grote. And the pitcher, Tom Seaver, batting ninth. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, the leadoff batter will be the center fielder, Matty Alou. Batting second and playing third base, Richie Hebner. Batting third in right field, Roberto Clemente. Batting fourth in left field, Willie Stargell. Batting fifth at first base, Al Oliver. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, Gene Holley. Batting seventh, the catcher, Jerry May. Batting eighth and playing second base, Bill Mazeroski. And the pitcher, Steve Blass, batting ninth. Last year, the Mets won the World Series, and in the regular season, they won 100 ball games, lost 62. Bucks with a record of 88 and 74. They were 12 games back in third place in the Eastern Division in the National League. So here today, the final opening ever to be played here at Forbes Field, 61 opening days. This field built back in 1909. Pittsburgh Pirates are scheduled to move into the new ballpark later on this season. So here today, before just about a capacity crowd, we'll be seeing the last opener here in this historic ballpark. Now at home plate, World Championship manager Gil Hodges going over the grounds rules with Danny Murtaugh, third-time manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Out there, Bill Mazeroski, the captain of the Pirates. The home plate umpire today will be Augie Donatelli. At first base, calling the plays there, Chris Pellacutis. The umpire at second base will be John Kibler, and the umpire at third base will be Dave Davidson. The field dimensions here at Forbes Field, 300 feet down the right field line, going out to 375 in just about straightaway right field. It's 436, a shade to the right of center field. 457, a shade to the left of center field. 406 in left center field, and 360 down the left field line. We're still waiting here at Forbes Field as they continue to go over the grounds rules. Gil Hodges at this moment pointing down toward the right field line. In right field, going from the 300-foot mark on the foul line out to 375, there's an extension of the wall, a high screen. And balls off that screen, of course, are in play. Over the top of the screen, a home run. And now the Pittsburgh Pirates are taking the field. The Pittsburgh Pirates have taken the field. Steve Blass going out to the mound. Pirates, after opening up here with the Mets today and their other scheduled game on Thursday night, will be moving on to Philadelphia. They'll be playing the Phillies in Philadelphia over the weekend, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And then they come in to play the Mets on the 14th for the Mets home opener. Pirates are rated very highly this year by most experts. They have tremendous power, they have good speed, and they're hoping that Gene Alley and Bill Mazeroski, their double play combination at short and second, will have a comeback year. They feel that if those two can have a comeback year, they'll be a very strong ball club. They have a doubtful pitching setup, relying mainly on Steve Blass, Bob Moose, Doc Ellis, Bob Veal as their big men. Bob Moose currently is doing 2 weeks of service duty, so he will not be available for this series and will not be available against the Mets in New York. In the bullpen, they have acquired Twiggy Hartenstein. They figure on him, Bruce Dalcanton. And right now, Danny Murtaugh out talking with his catcher, Jerry May. Manny Sanguin was scheduled to start, but he has a slight injury, so Jerry May was picked as the opening day catcher. Mets are sitting back with their strong arm catcher, Jerry Grote. Now the throw on down to second base. Bill Mazeroski with the throw over to Gene Alley, the shortstop, to Richie Hebner, the third baseman. And now the ball back to the mound to Jerry May. And Tommy Agee steps in the batter's box. And we're all set to start the 1970 season. And here for the play-by-play, Bob Murphy.
Okay, Ralph. Tommy Agee leading off against right-hander Steve Blass. Tommy, as the leadoff batter for the New York Mets last year, led the team in runs batted in with 76. He led in the power departments with 26 home runs. Tommy hit .271 and was a tremendous contributor as the Mets won everything. A foul ball hit back upstairs, and the new season is underway. On the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, their ace right-hander, Steve Blass. Blass has a lifetime record against the New York Mets of 6 wins and 3 losses. Last year, he won 2 and lost 1. Now the right-hander's pitch, low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. In the defense for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Al Oliver is playing first. Captain Bill Mazeroski is at second. Gene Alley is the shortstop, and Richie Hebner is playing third. And a high fly ball sliced right down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It is foul. Back into the crowd, a foul ball. And Tommy Agee did not miss a home run by very much. Down the line is 300 feet to the screen. A ball over the screen is a home run. Against the screen, it is in play. In the outfield for the Pirates, and they certainly have one of the best outfields put together in many years, Willie Stargell, Matty Alou, the center fielder, and around and right, Roberto Clemente. Here's the pitch on the way to Tommy Agee. Foul. Back to the screen. No play. For Gil Hodges, Yogi Berra on the coaching lines at first. Eddie Yost is on the lines at third. Pitching coach Rube Walker working in the dugout with Gil. And Joe Pignatano taking care of the bullpen. Here's the pitch to Tommy. A little squibbler down the third baseline. Picking it up is the catcher, May. The throw not in time. And Tommy Agee beats it out for an infield hit. He took a big swing, and he topped a slow roller up the third baseline. By the time Jerry May could pick it up and throw hard to Al Oliver, it was too late. A swinging bunt for Tommy Agee. Bud Harrelson, switch hitting shortstop, will bat left against right-hander Steve Blass. Last year, Blass, who's 27 years old, won 16 and lost 10. Now Hebner is in close at third. Bud Harrelson, the batter. Here's the pitch on the way. Low and outside, ball one. Veteran Augie Donatelli umpiring behind the plate. Chris Pellacutis is at first. John Kibler at second. And Satch Davidson is the umpire at third. Overcast skies, 48-degree temperatures. And a throw to first by Steve Blass is not in time. No game tomorrow. The Mets and Pirates play Thursday night here in Pittsburgh. The Mets then will fly to St. Louis for a weekend series. Up goes the leg. Down comes the arm. Low and inside, and Harrelson lays off. 2 balls and no strikes. Buddy opening the season about 15 pounds heavier than he closed the season last year. He wound up at about 145 pounds. And he starts the new season closer to 160. Oliver holds against the runner, Tommy Agee. The 2-0 delivery is hit in the air to center field. Matty Alou coming one on, and now Joe Foy makes his debut in the National League and with the New York Mets. Foy put together a solid spring training. Gil Hodges and the coaches were satisfied with his play, and they feel he'll make a lot of contributions to the Mets this year. Joe Foy. He had the speed to steal 36 bases with Kansas City last year. And he led the Kansas City Royals in various hitting departments, including runs batted in. Foy, a right-hand batter, hits out of an overly closed stance. Now Blass up in pitching position. There goes the runner, hit and run, ground ball hit toward the hole. Up with the ball is Hebner. He throws to first base in time for the out. He wanted to make a play at second. He juggled the ball just for a flash. Had to give that idea up and go on to first base in time for the out. Mets were playing hit and run on the 3-1 delivery, and now Cleon Jones is the batter. Cleon coming off of a great year. Hit .340, third highest batting average in the National League. Art Shamsky, another 300 hitter, comes out on deck. Cleon is hoping to be able to duplicate the kind of year he had last season, perhaps even be a better power hitter. Cleon, a line drive type hitter. Now the Pirates have the infield a shade to left against Cleon, with Mazeroski playing a very deep second and pulled over towards second base. The pitch by Steve Blass, lined in the air to right field. Clemente racing at full speed. It's over his head, bouncing off the wall, a base hit. Around third and scoring, Tommy Agee, and Cleon goes into second with a run-scoring double. Cleon Jones, his first time at bat in the new campaign, gathers an RBI with a double over the head of Roberto Clemente. Well, Ralph, that's the way to start a new baseball season.
No doubt about that ball being hit well. First pitch, line drive to right, and the Mets in front 1-0.
Now Art Shamsky. Art had a very courageous and Outstanding season last year, bothered by an ailing back during the spring, returned to the minor leagues. He fought his way back and wound up hitting 300. Left-hand hitter. And a line drive that is going to be over Mazeroski's head, a base hit. Cleon will try and score. Clemente's throw is into first base. The run is in. Now Shamsky sliding to second, and he's safe. Clemente threw in behind Art Shamsky, and it backfired. And Shamsky never broke stride. Oliver's throw across the second base was wide, and so Shamsky winds up on second base. A run-scoring hit for Art Shamsky. The Mets now lead 2-0 here in the first inning, and we'll wait for the official scoring. Clemente, instead of throwing home, threw the ball in behind Art Shamsky. Ralph?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised, Bob, that Joe Hodges alerted the Mets to that play because Clemente likes to throw behind the runner at first base, and the only way to beat it is to keep on going. If you come back, you're going to be out. And Shamsky did just that and did not fall into the trap.
Ron Swoboda takes a curve by Blass at the knees for a call strike. 2 runs are in on 3 hits here in the first inning off Steve Blass. For the time being, we'll score a single for Shamsky and a run batted in and second on the throw. No error has been flashed. Now Blass up in pitching position, delivers low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ron Swoboda. Cleon Jones and Art Shamsky have each driven a run in. Mets would like to make Mets baseball history by winning their first opening game ever here this afternoon. Pittsburgh has had an outstanding record in opening day games. Ground ball hit toward the middle. To his left is Dean Alou, the shortstop. He's up with it, and he throws to Oliver the side to side. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on. And the score in the middle of the first inning, the New York Mets 2 and the Pittsburgh Pirates coming to bat. Last of inning number 1, and the Pirates now will be hitting against Tom Seaver. Tom starts the new campaign riding a 10-game winning streak. He won his last 10 decisions in the regular season last year. Matty Alou had 231 base hits last year, more base hits than any player in the major leagues. Matty's lifetime batting average now is up to .312 after 4 good years in a row at Pittsburgh, and Seaver's first delivery is low, ball 1. Jerry Grote behind the plate. In the infield, Art Shamsky is playing first. Wayne Garrett at second. Bud Harrelson is short. Joe Foy is at third. Inside at low, ball 2. Ken Boswell would have been in the starting lineup, but he has been away doing military duty, and Gil wants him to get a good workout in before going into the lineup. Cleon Jones in left. Tommy Agee is the center fielder, and Ron Swoboda is around and right. Now Seaver out of his windup. The 2-0 delivery. Inside, ball 3. Last year, against the Pirates, Tom Seaver won 3 and lost none. He has a lifetime record against Pittsburgh of 5 wins and 3 losses. And a strike on the outside corner to Matty Alou. It's 3-1. Matty does not walk very much for a leadoff batter. As a matter of fact, he had 698 official times at bat last year. The 3-0 delivery. Call strike on the outside corner, 3-2. Their opener is underway in Philadelphia. The Cubs did not score in the first inning off Chris Short. Fouled, back upstairs, no play. In the game at Philadelphia, Ferguson Jenkins against Chris Short. The Astros are on the West Coast playing the Giants at Candlestick Park. The last report, Juan Marichal would not be able to start. Atlanta at San Diego tonight. Cincinnati at Dodger Stadium tonight. 3-2 delivery. Ground ball, base hit down the right field line, going into the corner. Ron Swoboda chasing the ball into the corner. Matty Alou will go into second base with a double.
Last year, Matty Alou led the National League in 2 base hits with 41, and he has started off again.
Matty Alou hitting a 3-2 pitch, a hard grounder between Shamsky and the line and down into the right field corner. Now Richie Hebner is the batter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hebner coming off of a rookie season that saw him hit 300. He nailed down a 300 batting average on the final day of the season. Now Seaver up in pitching position. Delivers way inside, brushing Hebner back from the plate. New York in front, 2-0. Pirates sitting last of the first inning. Don Leppard on the coaching lines at first. Frank Osiak at third. Roberto Clemente, the on-deck batter. Now Seaver pitching from the stretch. Kicks the leg, delivers. Outside and high, ball 2. It's 2-0. Tom fell behind Matty Alou 3-0, worked the count to 3-2, and then Matty Alou doubled down the right field line. A near-capacity crowd at Forbes Field on opening day 1970. 1 week from today, the Mets open at Shea against the Pirates. Now Jerry Grote sets the target. And a foul tip off the mitt of Jerry Grote, and the count is 2 balls and a strike on third baseman Richie Hebner. The Pirates led the major leagues in team batting last season. They had a team batting average of .276. And with the return to form of Bill Mazeroski and Gene Alley, they figure to be even stronger. They had 3 rookies all come through. Richie Hebner, one of the 3. He's a left-hand batter. And the pitch by Tom Seaver. Good pitch at the knees for a call strike. It's 2-2. First baseman Al Oliver and third baseman Richie Hebner and catcher Manny Sanguillen, all putting in their first full season with the Pirates last year. Oliver and Hebner were bona fide rookies. Sanguillen did not qualify for Rookie of the Year honors. Hebner and Sanguillen both hit over 300. Oliver hit 285. Seaver delivers 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tom Seaver, behind on the count, comes back to strike out Hebner. Before Clemente steps in, we'll pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is New York Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 in Saratoga Springs, New York.
Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. The last of inning number 1 in Pittsburgh. The Mets lead the Pirates 2-0. And the 4-time National League batting champion, Roberto Clemente, is the hitter. Here's the pitch by Tom Seaver. Low and outside, ball 1. Last year, Clemente hit .345, second only to Pete Rose of Cincinnati, who led the major leagues in batting. Clemente had 19 home runs and 91 runs batted in. Roberto Clemente, right-hand batter. On second base, Matty Alou, 1 man out. Now the pitch by Tom Seaver. Hit in the air to right field. Ron Swoboda galloping in. He decoys it. It's a base hit. Matty Alou is coming home. The throw coming in will not be in time. Scoring single to right by Roberto Clemente. Ron Swoboda tried to decoy Matty Alou, make him think that he could catch the ball, knowing that he couldn't. But Matty Alou did not fall into the trap. He rounded third and sped home. And now Willie Stargell is coming up. The Pirates have a run in on a double by Matty Alou and a single by Roberto Clemente. And heavy hitting Willie Stargell is the batter. Stargell hit .307 last year with 29 home runs. And the pitch by Seaver, off outside, ball 1. Seaver let up on it. Now the pitch on the way to Stargell, hit in the air to left field toward the line. Jones running after it, and it's foul ball. A foul ball by inches. Stargell just missed an extra base hit that would have tied up the ball game. He's a left-hand pull hitter. The outfield plays him way around to right. He sliced that one right down the left field line and just fouled. Stargell running it out, comes back to the batter's box. Baltimore, the defending American League champion, opening in Cleveland, and the Orioles will pitch Dave McNally, a 21-game winner last season, against Sam McDowell. Sudden Sam, an 18-game winner a year ago. 1 ball, 1 strike to Willie Stargell. Now Seaver off the stretch, delivers, swing and a miss at a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The skies are overcast. Weatherman forecasting that the sun will break out around 2:30. Game time temperature was 48 degrees. Stargell the batter, and the pitch by Seaver. Ground ball hit down to first base. Shamsky steps on first. Now they've got a rundown play on Clemente. Shamsky running him back, gives the ball to Harrelson, and Harrelson tags out Clemente, a double play to retire the side. So Stargell grounded out to Shamsky. Clemente elected to stand there and go into a rundown situation, and Shamsky ran him toward second, flipped the ball to Harrelson to complete the twin killing. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 1 inning, the score in Pittsburgh, the New York Mets 2 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 1.
Of your own, it's fun to realize. It's dark to table savings. A safe, convenient way. So always remember, it's a proud way to say, big stars in America are U.S. savings bonds. So always remember, it's a proud way to say, big stars in America are U.S. savings bonds.
Wayne, a left-hand batter, takes the pitch on the outside corner for a call strike. Wayne can play second, short, or third. He has good hands, a good infielder. Wayne starting in place of Ken Boswell. Boswell had been away a few days doing his military reserve duty. Now a breaking ball in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrett had a good spring, and if you'll recall, late last year his hitting improved. He just improved all around as the year went along. He's a good-looking young ball player. Jerry May behind the plate. In comes the pitch. Ground ball, pull foul down toward Yogi on the coaching lines at first base. No game tomorrow. The Mets play the Pirates with Jerry Koosman on the mound Thursday night. His mound opponent, by the way, will be Doc Ellis. Bob Moose is away for the first 2 weeks of the season doing reserve duty. So the Mets will miss Bob Moose the first 2 series. The wind-up by Blass. The pitch is swung and missed, strike 3. He got him with a fastball. For Blass, his first strikeout, and it brings up Jerry Grote. Jerry Grote, right-hand hitter. Top-notch receiver 2 years ago, the National League's all-star catcher. And he takes ball 1. Jerry Grote is one of the young veterans on the New York Mets. Now Blass into his windup, delivers, and a line drive towards second. Mazeroski takes it for the out. Hard hit line drive, but right to the second baseman. 2 outs and nobody on. It will bring up Tom Seaver. Jerry Grote opening his 5th season as the Mets' #1 receiver. Now here is Tom Seaver. Play is being held up for a moment by John Kibler, the second base umpires. And they are calling a ball on the pitcher, Steve Blass, because he forgot and went to his mouth with his pitching fingers. I think that's what it was, but I'm not sure. It might have been something on the field, Ralph, that they had to get rid of.
Evidently, Bob, underneath this broadcasting booth, there's a light that's shining in someone's eyes, and I guess that's what Augie was doing when he made that motion as though he had gone to his mouth.
Now, a swing and a miss by Tom Seaver. Yes, that's what it was. Something in the stands that was reflecting caught the attention of the second base umpire, John Kibler, who stopped the game. Now Blass out of his windup. Here's the pitch to Tommy Seaver, and it's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seaver last year in compiling a great season had 2 long winning streaks, an 8-game winning streak and a 10-game winning streak. Foul ball back upstairs, no play. The 10-game winning streak is still alive. He lost a game in the World Series, but in regular season play, Tom has won 10 straight. The Mets scored twice in the first inning on base hits by Tommy Agee, Cleon Jones, and Art Shamsky. Now a swing and a miss, strike 3. Seaver goes down swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of an inning and a half, the New York Mets 2 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 1.
I am going on a long journey. I will be following the springs through field and valley. I'll be searching for the natural things. It is high time that I was searching for the natural things.
There are 2 ways to carbonate beer. The fast way is to inject carbonation into it. The slow way is to let it age long enough to carbonate itself naturally, giving it a good extra dry, natural taste. We'll take the slow way. At Rheingold, we brew beer naturally. Natural Rheingold.
It is high time that I was searching for the natural things.
Rheingold Breweries Incorporated, New York, New York, and Orange, New Jersey, ask you to help keep America beautiful.
Last of the second inning. New York 2, Pittsburgh 1. For the Pirates, first baseman Al Oliver leads off against Tom Seaver. The Chicago Cubs and Philadelphia Phillies are scoreless at the end of 1 inning in Philadelphia. Ferguson Jenkins pitching against Chris Short. This weekend, the Mets play in St. Louis. They have a Friday night game against the Cardinals, a Saturday afternoon game, and a Sunday afternoon game. And after the game on Sunday, the team will be flying back to New York. Next Monday night, the welcome home dinner will be held in the Grand Ballroom of the New York Hilton Hotel. Quite a springboard into the opening day at Shea on Tuesday, April 14th. The Mets playing the Pirates. Al Oliver, left-hand batter, facing Tom Seaver, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. As we mentioned, Oliver last season as a rookie hit .285. He had 17 home runs and 70 runs batted in. The 1-0 delivery, pulled foul down the right side, no play, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gene Alley is the on-deck batter, and then Jerry May. Now Tom Seaver has his sign from Grote. And a drive hit toward the alley in right center field. It'll be in for an extra base hit. Running the ball all the way back to the wall is Ron Swoboda. Oliver around second is on his way to third. He'll pull in with a 3-base hit. Hitting one perfectly between Ron Swoboda and Tommy Agee. That ball rolled out about 436 feet from home plate. A 3-base hit to right center by Oliver to lead off the last half of the second. Now Gene Alley will be stepping in. Alley missed a great deal last year because of a bad shoulder, but appears to be physically sound for this season. The infield back ready to concede a run. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. It almost got away from Jerry Grote. The Mets have the infield back at second and short, playing Shamsky and Foy even with the bag at first and third. The outfield deep and rather straight away. Alley, a slender right-hand batter waiting. And a fastball in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Each team now has collected 3 base hits. It appears as though it might be a day the hitters will take over. Now Seaver winds, and the pitch to Alley. Golfed foul, back upstairs, no play.
Well, Bob, you know, this has always been sort of a hitter's ballpark. There has never been a no-hit, no-run game pitched in Forbes Field, and if they don't get one pitched pretty soon, there never will be.
It's a tough game for a tough ballpark for home runs, but as you say, a good ballpark to hit in for base hits. The 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, and Alou goes down swinging. Pirates in recent years have won 5 batting titles. Gives you an indication that this is a good ballpark to hit in for base hits. Clemente has won 4. Matty Alou picked up 1. Jerry May stepping in now, and now the Mets will bring the infield in and try and cut this run off. Al Oliver on third with 1 man out. They played back at second and short with nobody out. Here's the pitch on the way. Hit in the air to deep right field. Way back goes Swoboda, and he dives and he makes the catch. A great catch by Swoboda. The game is tied up. In to score comes Oliver. A remarkable play in the outfield by Ron Swoboda to rob Jerry May of an extra base hit. He went as far as he could go on the dead run and lunged through the air, made a backhand grab, went sprawling on the ground, but held on to the ball. Well, I wouldn't say that was as good a play as he made in the World Series on Brooks Robinson, but it was a good one, Ralph, no doubt about it.
He went as far as he could go, and he had to make that last-minute extra effort, and that took him off his feet.
Mazeroski, the batter. 2 outs and nobody on. Maz hampered all last year by injuries. And he pops this one up. An infield pop-up out in front of the plate. Joe Foy comes down the line and makes the catch. Foy caught the ball right out in front of home plate. Ron Swoboda getting a hand as he comes in for that marvelous catch. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, none left. At the end of 2 innings, the score, the New York Mets 2 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
Well, Mets fans, we're into another season, and we hope a really great one for your ball club. Friendly Freddy is also going into another season of car washing, a really great one for his club. Friendly Freddy's is the only fully automatic car wash in Saratoga Springs. Their motto is, nothing for you to do but sit back and relax. Friendly Freddy's Car Wash offers you the quickest and most convenient car washing service in Saratoga. They're located on High Rock Avenue, 1 block off Lake Avenue. At Friendly Freddy's, they have a facility for everyone. A coin-operated wash for the do-it-yourselfers, the most up-to-date vacuum cleaners, and, of course, the automatic car wash. You just drive in, stay in your automobile, and before you know it, your car is coming out cleaned and, if you like, waxed. All this service for only $1.25. Wax is 50 cents extra. Believe me, Mets fans, this is a bargain with today's inflated prices. Come on in and give them a try.
Pick up the action in the 3rd inning as they turn on the lights. Ralph Gaynor.
Okay, Bob Murphy, and hi, everyone. The lights are on here at Forbes Field, and Tommy Agee batting for the 2nd time. Steve Blass with his first pitch. It's outside, ball 1. Tommy, after just missing a home run to right field, topped one out in front of the plate his first time up and beat it out for a base hit and scored the first run of the ball game. There's a line drive to center field off the next pitch, a base hit for Tommy. So he is 2 for 2. The ball fielded by Matty Alou, and the throw on in, and Agee stays at first. That'll bring up Bud Harrelson. Gillette Platinum Plus has the platinum alloy edge that makes shaving smoother, closer, more comfortable than any blade in history. Gillette Platinum Plus, for the shave you've always wanted and more. Bud Harrelson batting left-handed, flat out to center field, his first time up. Now again against Blass, and the pitch is low as Harrelson moves out to bunt, and it's ball 1. Harrelson in bunting position for the sacrifice try on that first pitch. It's a 2-2 ball game. Agee at first base, not too big a lead. Now the pitch to Harrelson. It is taken inside. Harrelson gets out of the way, and on the pitch, Agee was running. It got away from the catcher. It'll be a stolen base. So Agee, who had 12 stolen bases last year, gets his first this year, and the Mets have a runner in scoring position. It's ball 2. Pitch was way inside. Harrelson almost got hit by it as he tried to get out of the way and did. And it was off the glove of the catcher, Jerry May, and rolled about 30 feet away. The pitch to Harrelson. Check swing, ground ball hit out toward third base, picked up by Hebner. The throw to first base is just in time, and on the play, Agee goes to third. Bud Harrelson was trying to get out of the way of the ball, and as he was pulling away, the ball hit the bat, and went down toward third base almost as though it were a perfect bunt. Harrelson had trouble getting started, or he would have beat the play at first base. And that brings up Joe Foy. Joe on a hit-and-run play was out third to first his first time up. It put Agee on at second base. He was running with the pitch and got to second, or he would have been forced there. And it set it up for the Mets to score the first run. Now the pitch to Foy. It is hit hard to right. It might score a run. Here comes Clemente to make the catch. Coming in is Agee. Here's the throw. It's offline, and Agee scores standing up. So Roberto Clemente, throwing about 30 feet up toward third base, loses a chance to cut off a run at home, and the Mets take the lead by a score of 3-2 on the sacrifice line drive out by Joe Foy. That'll bring up Cleon Jones. Cleon doubled the right field his first time up and drove in the first run of the season for the New York Mets. Mets leading by a score of 3-2, 2 men out. We're in the third, and the pitch to Cleon Jones is low as ball one. Cleon's double on the first pitch that he saw this regular season was a line shot to right. Now checking the swing, the pitch too low, it's ball two. 2 balls, no strike. Signs go out. Steve Blass working for the Pirates, and at 2-0, the pitch to Jones is taken in for a called strike. At the end of 1, Cleveland 1, Baltimore nothing. At the end of 2.5, the Cubs nothing, Philadelphia nothing. And the 2-1 delivery. Jones takes over the inside corner about knee-high, 2-2. Mets have another ball game in this series with Pittsburgh. It'll be Thursday night. Jerry Kuzman is going for the Mets. Then they move to St. Louis, and Gary Gentry will open up against the Cardinals on Friday night. Next pitch is way outside and high, a full count to Jones. On deck batter for the Mets, Art Shamsky. Overcast skies, temperature at game time 48 degrees in Pittsburgh. And the 3-2 pitch. It's in the dirt, taken out by Jerry May, and on the pitch, Jones walks. So the Mets have Jones at first with 2 men out. Cleon with 16 stolen bases last year led the club in that department. And the batter coming up is Art Shamsky. The walk to first given up by Steve Blass in the ball game. He has struck out 2. He has allowed 4 hits. And the Mets lead by a score of 3-2 with the Mets batting with 2 men away in the top of the third. Shamsky singled to right to drive in Cleon Jones, who had doubled his first time up. And the pitch is hit high in the air to right center field. Matty Alou is making the call, the center fielder. And he makes the catch, and that retires the side. In the inning, the Mets break the tie. They score a run on 1 hit. No errors and a walk and 1 man left on. And the score in the middle of the third, the Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
Memorial Day 1969. Mario Andretti wins the fastest Indianapolis 500 ever in his STP oil treatment special. And this year, the STP racing team will be back, trying for a record-breaking 2 in a row. Andy Granatelli will see to that.
STP is the racer's edge.
When it comes to automotive testing laboratories, Indianapolis tops them all. 500 miles there is like 50,000 in your family car. So we'll be counting on STP oil treatment to give us the edge.
STP is the racer's edge.
Give your family car the same edge the world's greatest drivers get. Add STP to your oil and run racer sharp.
STP is the racer's edge.
We're going to the bottom of the third inning. Mets leading by a score of 3-2 here on opening day in Pittsburgh. And the Pirates coming up against Tom Seaver for the third time. First batter will be the pitcher, Steve Blass. He'll be followed by Matty Alou and then Richie Hebner. Seaver has been reached for 2 runs on 3 hits. Tom, a 25-game winner last year, and the first pitch to Blass is swung on, strike 1. Augie Donatelli, the home plate umpire, the crew chief of this crew, Chris Pellacutis, the umpire at first base, John Kibler, the umpire at second, Dave Davidson, the umpire at third. 1 strike pitch, a called strike 2. For the ball game, Seaver was in the clubhouse and talking about things other than opening day. Next pitch is low on the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, along with Joe Deere, the assistant trainer, we got to talking about a fellow named Chico Rodriguez. Now the pitch back, swung on and missed, and Seaver has struck out Steve Blass. 3rd strikeout for Tom in the ball game. That'll bring up Matty Alou. Alou doubled on a 3-2 pitch right down the right field line his first time up. He led the National League in doubles last year with 41. Had 231 base hits to lead the National League, batted .331. Had 1 home run, 48 runs batted in, and he fouls the first pitch away at strike 1. Matty Alou last year set a new National League mark for times at bat, official times at bat of 698, breaking an old record of 697 set by a Pittsburgh Pirate player, Woody Jensen. The 1 strike pitch. It is again fouled away, strike 2. Mets leading 3-2. As we were saying about time, we got talking about different ball players. Another ball player by the name of Chico Ruiz came up. And Don Hebner, who at one time was a manager for the Cincinnati Reds and a coach for the New York Mets, was his manager. And Hebner coached in the third base coaching box. Next pitch is low, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he always had a saying that if you didn't do well, you yell in and say, "You can do better than that." And it was a pet expression of his, which he used all the time. Pitch back is hit foul into the stands on the third base side, so the count stays at 1-2. Ruiz was at bat playing for Don Hebner at San Diego, and he swung and missed the 2 pitches. And Don Hebner yelled in from the third base coaching box, "You can do better than that." And Ruiz called time and walked down to Don Hebner and said, "No, I can't." Now the 1-2 pitch. Grounded toward the shortstop. Harrelson will have to hurry. The long throw in time for the out. Alou gets down that line in a hurry, and Harrelson fielded that ball from a deep shortstop position. That'll bring up Richie Hebner, but first we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is New York Mets Baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 in Saratoga Springs, New York.
Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. The Mets leading 3-2. 2 men away, bottom of the third, and the first pitch to Richie Hebner is fouled off at strike 1. Hebner was struck out on a curveball his first time up. Left-hand batter playing at third base. A pitch by Seaver, a slop curve hit the deep left center field. A long way for Cleon Jones. He's going. He cannot get to it. It is picked up by Tommy Agee, and Hebner goes to second base and holds there as Agee makes a powerful throw perfectly to third. So another extra base hit for the Pittsburgh Pirates. They have had 3 now, and it brings up Roberto Clemente. That is the second time that Tom Seaver has thrown what ball players call a slop curveball to the plate, and both times he has thrown it, it has gone for extra bases. Al Oliver tripled off of it to right center, and now Hebner with a double to left center. Cleon Jones went as far as he could go and tried to make a high dive for it, but he couldn't reach it as he fell to the ground. And Agee had to pick it up out in deep left center field. Now Roberto Clemente in the first pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line. A long run for Shamsky, but the ball is curving foul into the stands, and it's strike 1. Clemente blooped the base hit the right field his first time up and drove in the first Pirate run of the year. Hits are all even at 4 apiece. The Mets leading by a score of 3-2. The Pirates with the time run at second base and a 1-strike count on Roberto Clemente. Speaking of extra base hits, Clemente led the National League in triples last year. He had 12. Now 1 strike. Seaver checks at second, comes back. And the pitch is just outside. A hard slider. It's 1-1. Clemente, number 21. Lifetime batting average at .314. Now Seaver again set. And the 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2. Roberto Clemente played winter ball this year, and he said before the ball game that the reason why he did was to keep his shoulder, which he had injured, in constant action so it would not stiffen up and become a permanent injury. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Clemente with a hard swing. They count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Roberto Clemente last winter turned down a chance to run for mayor. He is a popular ball player. Puerto Rico. Here's a 2-2 delivery. It is swung on and missed, strike 3, and Seaver gets Roberto Clemente with a hard, high fastball. That is Seaver's 4th strikeout. He retires aside. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. A man left at second, and the score at the end of 3. The New York Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
Globe Supply, downtown Saratoga, is the place to go for Raleigh and roll-fast bicycles. You'll find a large selection to choose from, and they come in all speeds. Every new bicycle purchased at Globe Supply comes fully assembled and carries a 90-day service and maintenance guarantee. You can also have your bike repaired by experienced mechanics at Globe. For all your bicycle accessories and parts for English or American bikes, shop Globe Supply, downtown Saratoga, open daily from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday night until 9 p.m.
John Hancock introduces Rich Man coverage for the not yet rich. A life insurance package with an initial benefit of $100,000. Very good for the ego, and you can afford it. If you're 24, you may have to pay about $38 a month. Ask Ben Yanklowicz about Rich Man coverage, $100,000 worth of life insurance that'll make you feel like a million. Call Ben, 783-5571, or write Ben Yank, Box J, Latham, New York, 12110 for more details.
John Hancock, huh?
Now Ron Swoboda, the leadoff for the New York Mets. They lead 3-2 after 3, and the first pitch to Ron is low, ball 1. Ron grounded to the shortstop. Gene Alley, his first time up, and was out. Batting against Steve Blass for the second time. Ron batting in the 6th batting position. Blass back, and the pitch again is low. It's ball 2. Behind Ron Swoboda, Wayne Garrett and Jerry Grote for Steve Blass in this inning. Minnesota got 3 runs in the top half of the first. White Sox now coming up. 2-0 pitch hit deep to right field. A long drive. It'll be for extra bases. It might go all the way. It is off of the wall. Swoboda makes the turn at first, goes into second base with a stand-up double. Well hit ball over the head of Roberto Clemente about 390 feet. So the extra base hits continue to resound off the bats of both teams. And the Mets now have a runner at second base with no one out and Wayne Garrett coming up. Wayne was struck out his first time up. He went down swinging at a fastball. Left-hand batter, batted .218 last year. He had 1 home run and 39 runs batted in. Once again, action starting up in the bullpen for the Pirates. Dave Justy, a right-hander, along with Lou Maroney, a left-hander. Now Steve Blass, who has been reached for 5 hits with his first pitch to Garrett. A curveball swung on a miss, strike 1. Manager Gil Hodges said that Ron Swoboda was going to be his standard right fielder for both right and left-hand pitching. Ron here has responded with long double. There's a drive to deep right field going back as Clemente to the warning track. He makes the catch. Going over from second base is Ron Swoboda to third. So a long fly ball by Wayne Garrett, about 375 feet. And the Mets now have a runner at third base with 1 man away, and the Mets have Jerry Grote coming up. So far that experiment, or that decision mainly by Gil Hodges, has worked well. Swoboda has a double and 2 times up. Shamsky has a single and a run batted in and 2 times up. Jerry Grote, the batter. Jerry hit a soft line drive to second for an out his first time up. Pirates are playing their infield in, hoping to cut off a run. And the first pitch is popped up. The infield, moving in on it, it's going to be Richie Hebner, the third baseman, to make the catch, and he does right on the pitching mound for the out. So the Mets lose a chance to score a run on a sacrifice fly. And that leaves it up to Tom Seaver, who's batting now with 2 men away. The Mets leading 3-2. Top of the fourth inning. Seaver was struck out his first time up. Now we got some sunshine breaking through the overcast here in Pittsburgh. Seaver, a right-hand batter, and Steve Blass with the first pitch. Ground ball hit right back to Blass. He fields the ball, throws to first base to start his retire. No runs, 1 hit, a leadoff double. No errors, a man left at third, and the score in the middle of the fourth inning. The New York Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
The finest in Italian cuisine and a wide array of steaks, chops, and seafood await your dining pleasure at Mangino's Restaurant, located on the south end of Saratoga Lake. But there's a big difference between just ordinary Italian or American cuisine and Mangino's fine food. At Mangino's, your order is never prepared hours before. Mangino's realize that good food cannot be hurried, and they ask you to give them a little time to prepare it properly. All dishes are prepared to your order when your order is placed, never before, and it hasn't been simmering away for hours or minutes. That's the big difference at Mangino's. Why not enjoy eating Italian food the way it should be savored and dine at Mangino's Restaurant, located on the south end of Saratoga Lake on Route 9P, just 2 miles from Route 9. A complete line of Italian specialties are served to tempt the palate, and their steaks and chops and seafood are equally as delightful. If you're planning a party or a banquet for up to 75, call Mangino's for their special party menu. That's Mangino's Restaurant, the home of truly fine foods on Route 9P at the south end of Saratoga Lake.
Fourth inning, the Mets leading 3-2 in the first game of this 1970 regular season. Tom Seaver working for the Mets, Steve Blass working for Pittsburgh. The Mets have had 3 runs on 5 hits. The Pirates have had 2 runs on 4 hits. And the first batter for the Pirates will be Willie Stargell. Willie hit into a double play his first time up, grounding to Art Shamsky, who stepped on the bag, and then Roberto Clemente, who was on first, was worked out on a rundown play. Now a high fly ball hit to right field. Ron Swoboda ambling in, gets under the ball and makes the catch. So Stargell pops up a slow curveball, and it's 1 away. Al Oliver will now come up. Oliver tripled to right center field off a curveball his first time up and scored the second Pirate run when he was driven in on a sacrifice fly by Jerry May. Oliver, a left-hand batter, a .285 hitter last year. Seaver now checking out his right fielder, Ron Swoboda. Ron playing a very deep right field. As Bob Murphy told you earlier, this is a tremendously large ballpark. Now the first pitch, and it's ball 1. This probably is the largest ballpark in area for playing area in the major league. I don't believe anybody's ever thoroughly checked it out, but it would just about have to be. Next pitch is low, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 457 to center field at the deepest point. 360 down the left field line. Now a hard swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 300 down the right field line, but it goes out sharply, about a 45-degree angle to 375. Now the 2-1 delivery to Oliver, and it's low, ball 3. 3-1. Mets leading by a score of 3-2. Baltimore got a run in the top of the second. They have tied up Cleveland 1-1. Now a hard swing at a fastball, but the ball fouled off, and it's a 3-2 count as Seaver works against the left-hand batter, Al Oliver. The on-deck batter, the shortstop, Gene Alley. Now Seaver with his 3-2 pitch. And it's popped up on the third base side. Joe Foy has room in foul territory to get to it. He is under it, and he makes the catch. Bob Murphy, there's an airplane. In fact, 2 of them flying over with a streaming banner behind. One of them has something to do with Plymouth. But, you know, one day I was playing ball here, and they came by with airplane pulling the banner and said, hit one up here, Kiner.
Did you do it?
I missed it by about 2 feet.
Well, I think you should have had at least one practice swing.
Now the batter is Gene Alley, and a curveball is high and inside. Alley has to spin away to keep him getting hit. It's ball one. We were playing the Giants that day, the now San Francisco Giants. We won the ball game. Now the pitch hit high in the air in foul territory, but the ball is going out of play. One ball, one strike count on Gene Alley. Alley last year batted .246.
You notice the new brick out there in left center at the 406 mark? You know why that is?
Somebody run through that wall?
That's where Mazeroski hit that historic World Series winning home run.
Now a swing and a foul off the glove of Jerry Grote. The count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So they took the bricks out in the area where he hit that historic home run, and there will be a part of the new Three River Stadium. And that's why you see new brick out there.
Glad to know that. 406 mark. Now the pitch back. And it's high and it's a curveball. It misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I thought you were going to tell me that's where Willie Stargell ran through the wall.
I believe he could.
He probably could, as hard as he is. Now the 2-2 delivery. It is hit to the second baseman, Wayne Garrett, a soft line drive. And he makes the catch, and that retires the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Tom Seaver, the first time he's done that in the ball game. And the score at the end of 4, the New York Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
I am going on a long journey. I will be following the strays through field and valley. I'll be searching for the natural thing. It is high time that I was searching for the natural things.
At Rheingold, we brew beer with the natural things. Rheingold Extra Dry is made with good water, just about the best in the world. If you don't start out with good water, you don't end up with good beer. We start out with good water. Natural Rheingold.
It is high time that I was searching for the natural things.
Rheingold Breweries Incorporated, New York, New York, and Orange, New Jersey, ask you to help keep America beautiful.
Inning number 5 here at Forbes Field. At Mets 3, Pirates 2. Tommy Agee to lead off against Steve Blass. Tommy has 2 for 2 and has scored 2 of the 3 runs for the New York Mets. Tommy beat out an infield hit in the first inning. He singled to center and stole second to set up a run in the 3rd inning. So, an impressive start for Tommy Agee. Now the pitch by Blass, a ground ball hit right at Mazeroski. Maz is up with it, throws on to Al Oliver at first base, 1 out. Bud Harrelson has flied to center and bounced out to 3rd, nothing for 2. J.C. Martin is in the opening day lineup for the Chicago Cubs, catching Ferguson Jenkins in Philadelphia, which would indicate that Randy Hundley is not yet physically ready to play. Taken high by Bud Harrelson, ball 1. Phillies lead Chicago 1-0 at the end of 4 with Ferguson Jenkins pitching against Chris Short. And a slow ground ball off the mound, Steve Blass. He underhands the throw to Oliver, 2 down. So 2 men quickly set aside by Steve Blass, and it will bring up Joe Foy. Joe has bounced out to 3rd and driven a run in with a sacrifice fly. His sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning put New York back into the lead, 3-2. Cleon Jones, the cleanup hitter, comes out on deck. That's 3 runs on 5 hits. They've had 3 left on. The Pirate outfield around to left. And a swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 1. Mazeroski has been playing a very deep second base against the right-hand batters and shading them for the most part toward the middle of the diamond. Now Blass delivers, and a half-swing foul ball, right straight back, no play. And Blass now has a 2-strike advantage. One other day opener in the National League today, but starting later, it's on the West Coast at Candlestick Park, Houston at San Francisco. At Candlestick Park this year, they will be playing on a synthetic field. The two-strike delivery, high and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Joe Foy. No game tomorrow. The Mets and Pirates Thursday night. Jerry Koosman pitching against Doc Ellis. Pitching 1-2. And a change-up breaking ball that's inside, almost a blooper curve. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mets scored twice in the first inning today. Cleon Jones doubled home Tommy Agee, and Art Shamsky singled home Cleon Jones. Pittsburgh came back to tie the game. And a curve in the dirt. That ball got away from Steve Blass. It struck the dirt far out in front of the plate, and now we have a full count, 3-2. Pittsburgh tied the game, getting 1 run in the first inning as Roberto Clemente singled home Matty Alou. And Jerry May's sacrifice fly in the second brought home Al Oliver. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. On 3-2, Blass fans Joe Foy. For Steve Blass, his third strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. So we've come halfway at the end of 4 1/2 innings to score the New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
Having a problem in deciding where to take your group on its next outing? If so, let the Mets Group Sales Department solve it for you. This department is manned by experts in handling both men's and women's groups. These same specialists encourage community and civic organizations, social and fraternal clubs, youth, family, and athletic groups to take in a Mets ball game and enjoy a day at Shea. In addition to providing group ticket sales for a ball game, our representatives will be happy to furnish you with all the details of the beautiful restaurants at Shea Stadium, which are available for parties, large or small, up to 700 persons. For groups of 100 or more, recognition will be given to your organization on the changeable message scoreboard here at Shea. You can easily obtain additional information simply by writing to Group Sales Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. Or, if you like, telephone 212-672-3000. The representative handling your area will be more than happy to personally speak before your men's or women's group, large or small, and explain all the details. Call or write today and enjoy a day at Shea.
Last of inning number 5, and Jerry May, the catcher, batting 7th in the order, faces Tom Seaver. He drove in a run in the second with a long fly ball to right center, and Swoboda made a remarkable catch to rob him of an extra base hit. The pitch by Seaver is low inside, ball 1. Tom Seaver, 25-7 last year, winner of the National League Cy Young Award and runner-up in the Most Valuable Player balloting. Now the pitch by Tom, a strike on the outside corner at the knees, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's figuring Jerry May as a pull hitter. Wayne Garrett shaded towards second base. Now Grote provides the target. In comes the pitch. High fly ball hit deep to center. Roaming back is Tommy Agee. Now he's drawing a beat on it, and he makes the catch for the out. That ball jumped off the bat of Jerry May, but it was hit straight away in center field. 1 out and nobody on. Now veteran Bill Mazeroski. Maz 0 for 1, retired on an infield pop-up taken by Joe Foy in the second inning. 15-year veteran from Wheeling, West Virginia, Bill Mazeroski. Tom Seaver smoothing out the dirt in front of the pitching slab. New York 3 runs on 5 hits. Pittsburgh 2 runs on 4 hits. We're in the last half of the 5th inning. We have a near capacity crowd at Forbes Field. Pitch on the way, fouled, back upstairs to the skyboxes, no play. Veteran Augie Donatelli, the crew chief of this umpiring team, and naturally behind the plate on opening day. Second in seniority on this umpiring team is Chris Pellacutis, so he's at first base. Then John Kibler at second. Satch Davidson at third. Pitch taken outside by Mazeroski. Both Mazeroski and Alou missed a lot last year due to injuries. And a half-swing, slow ground ball down the first base line. Seaver picks the ball up in fair territory, tags out Mazeroski. Good play by Seaver. He had to get there in a hurry because the ball probably would have rolled foul before it reached the first base bag. The Seaver left the mound and got to it near the line. 2 outs, nobody on. Steve Blass, the Pirate hurler, coming up. You have to work on Steve Blass. He's among the better hitting pitchers in the National League. He had one game against the Cubs last year. He had 4 base hits in one ball game. Blass hits right-handed. Now Seaver over the head. Down comes the arm. Line down the right field line. It may go foul. Foul ball. Ball was hit late by Steve Blass. He strung it, but it was a foul ball. One of the grandstand outfielders must have made a good play. Temperature about 50 degrees here on opening day. It has been overcast. The overcast just now starting to break up. And he tries to bunny his way on. The pitch is strike 2. He offered at it, says Augie Donatelli. Blass ran up on that one. He was going to try and push a bunt beyond the pitcher's reach on the right side of the infield. Now Seaver with a 2-strike count on Steve Blass. Into his windup, Tom Seaver, and the pitch off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Orioles and the Indians are tied 1-1 at the end of 3. Seaver thought he had him struck out. Breaking ball just missing the outside corner. And it's 2-2 to Blass. Tom Seaver has struck out 3. Walked none. Now the pitch to Blass. Foul back toward the crowd. No play. This weekend, the Mets have a 3-game series with the Cardinals in St. Louis. Following the Sunday game, they'll be flying to New York. They have the welcome home dinner Monday night at the Grand Ballroom of the New York Hilton, and they open the season at Shea a week from today. Pitching 2-2. And a slow ground ball back to the mound. An easy play for Seaver. He throws on to first. The side is out. Well, Tom Seaver has settled now to retire 7 in a row. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. At the end of 5, the New York Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 2.
If you're shopping around for a new car, and you certainly have a wonderful selection to choose from this year, wouldn't it be nice to know you have the cash to pay for it? You can, and probably cut the cost of automobile financing at the same time, with a low-cost, direct new car loan from Ballston Spa National Bank. Arranging for your new car money in advance, direct from the folks at Ballston Spa National Bank, not only saves you money on the loan, but provides the cash to pay any dealer you decide to do business with. There's an office of Ballston Spa National Bank in Burnt Hills, right on Route 50, as well as the main office in Ballston Spa. And you can phone ahead, if you like, for details and monthly payment figures on the exact amount of cash you'll need for your new car. Call 885-6711. Ballston Spa National Bank. About a money-saving direct new car loan. 885-6711. Ballston Spa National Bank. The bank that saves you money. Might be a great place to do all your banking.
Now Cleon Jones. Cleon doubled a run in the first inning, and he reached on a walk in the third inning. The lights are on. And we go to the 6th inning as Blass picks up his sign from Jerry May. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's over. Strike 1 call. Cleon's double was well hit to right field over the head of Roberto Clemente, and it brought home Tommy Agee. We have had some long shots in this ballgame. And the pitch is taken by Cleon. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ron Swoboda made a truly remarkable catch on Jerry May early in the ballgame to rob May of an extra base hit. The 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball at the knees, a call strike. Both pitchers seem to be settling down. Seaver has now retired 7 in a row, and Steve Blass has retired 6 in a row. The first 3 innings, both pitchers were being hit hard. Blass with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And a curve in the dirt out in front of the plate. That breaking ball is bothering Steve Blass. I mean, he's been changing up on his curveball, and it's been getting out of his hand in a wrong way and breaking into the dirt far out in front of the plate. The 2-2 delivery, and it's over. Strike 3 call. Cleon is caught looking. The 4th strikeout now for Steve Blass, and Blass is now set down 7 straight, and it brings up Art Shamsky. You know, the only thing that's going to impress you about a White Owl cigar is how it tastes compared to other cigars. To really appreciate a White Owl cigar, you have to smoke their cigar. Art Shamsky singled a run home in the first inning and skied to center in the 3rd inning. Art 1 for 2 and a run batted in. Mets lead 3-2. And a call strike on the outside corner at the knees. Ron Swoboda will be hitting next. Jerry May setting up the target. Line down the left field line. It may go foul. Let's see. Fair ball just inside the line. Shamsky around first is on his way to second, and he goes in standing up with an opposite field double. Well hit drive by Shamsky into the left field corner. A 2-base hit. That is base hit number 6 for the New York Mets, and 3 of the 6 have been for extra bases. Ron Swoboda stepping in. Ron doubled leading off the 4th inning, but was left stranded on 3rd. He also has made a great play in the game in the field. Now Blass off the stretch. A swing and a miss by Ron Swoboda. Wayne Garrett is the on-deck hitter. These are the 2 teams many of the baseball experts figure will battle for the Eastern Division crown. Shamsky leading off second. Blass delivers. At a half swing, and he went through, says Donatelli, at a fastball, and the count is strike 2. And Eddie Yost, coaching at third base, comes down the line. He did not like the call by Augie Donatelli. That gives Blass a 2-strike advantage in facing Ron Swoboda. Now Blass checks the runner at second, delivers. Low and outside on a breaking ball. Dave Justy warming up again in the Pittsburgh Pirate bullpen, along with left-hander Lou Maroney. Mets have some fans here today. Some youngsters came all the way from New York to be here for the opening day game. Pitching 1-2. Strike 3 call. Swoboda is caught looking. Right here we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is your New York Mets baseball station in Saratoga Springs, New York. WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your dial.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kaner. Mets lead the Pirates 3-2. We have a good one going. We're in the top of the 6th inning. They're going to intentionally walk Wayne Garrett and pitch instead to Jerry Grote. Garrett, a left-hand hitter, and so in this spot, Danny Murtaugh will go with the percentages. And the intentional pass is being issued to Wayne Garrett. Jerry Grote has lined out to the second baseman and popped to third. So Jerry is 0 for 2. Here are the warm-ups for the opener at Yankee Stadium. For the Red Sox, it will be Gary Peters, acquired last winter in a deal with the Chicago White Sox. And for the Yankees, their 20-game winner, Mel Stottlemyre. Yankee Stadium opener scheduled for 3 in the afternoon. Now runners on first and second, 2 men down, and Jerry Grote is the hitter. Jerry May, the backstop, goes out to confer with Steve Blass. This is a critical point in the ballgame. Tom Seaver is the on-deck batter. With 1 away, Art Shamsky doubled deep to left field. Ron Swoboda was called out for the second out of the inning, and they have intentionally walked Wayne Garrett. Now it's right-hander against right-hander. Blass up in pitching position. Here's the pitch on the way. And he held up on the swing just in time. It's ball one. Grote started to go and then checked it. Art Shamsky leads off second. Wayne Garrett leading off first. Steve Blass delivers, and a ground ball hit to shortstop. Gene Holley comes up with it. Throws to Mazeroski. Force play to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. Now at the end of 5 1/2 innings, the New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 2. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, Matty Alou leads off in the last of the 6th inning against Tom Seaver. Baltimore and Cleveland tied 1-1 at the end of 3 1/2 in Cleveland. Dave McNally pitching against Sam McDowell. Oakland at Kansas City and not underway. The California Angels and Milwaukee Brewers. California 1, Milwaukee nothing at the end of an 1.5 innings. Andy Messersmith against Lou Krause. And Detroit plays at Washington tonight. We are being held up for a moment while the ground crew does a little work on the warning track out in right field. In the National League, Philadelphia 1, Chicago nothing. They're going to the 6th inning at Connie Mack Stadium with Ferguson Jenkins pitching against Chris Short. Matty Alou has doubled and scored a run and bounced out to Short. 1 for 2. Seaver into his windup. The pitch to Matty. Inside and low, it's ball 1. Top of the order for the Pirates in the last of the 6th inning. Matty Alou, Richie Hebner, and Roberto Clemente. Now Seaver delivers, and Alou takes a look. It goes outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Matty Alou had 231 hits last year. Most prolific hit maker in Major League Baseball. Line to right center field. Agee going after it. Can't get it. And the ball is rolling all the way back to the center field fence. Matty Alou is around second. The relay throw by Wayne Garrett, the third. The hit first slide. He's safe. The tying run is on third base, nobody out. Matty Alou hanging out a line drive into right center. Agee tried to reach it, but he could not get to it, and then had to pursue the ball 436 feet back to the wall. And Matty Alou is on third with a triple. Matty Alou now has a double and triple and 3 times at bat. The infield will concede a run. They play back. The batter is Richie Hebner, and a high foul fly going out of play. The Pirates have 5 hits, and 4 of the 5 have been extra base hits. The only single the Pirates have picked up today was by Roberto Clemente in the 1st inning to drive in a run. All of their other hits have been extra base hits. And a high fly ball hit to short right field. Garrett is going out. Matty Alou is not tagging up. Garrett makes the catch, and holding at third, Matty Alou. So 1 man away, and now let's see if the Mets bring the infield in. Roberto Clemente will be the batter. Clemente singled a run in the 1st inning, and Tom Seaver struck him out with a runner in scoring position in the 3rd inning. Now the left side of the infield comes in. Clemente hits to the opposite field a great deal, and so Garrett is playing him back at normal fielding depth. The other 3 infielders are in. Tom Seaver using the full windup, and the pitch to Roberto. It's over, strike 1 call. Mets leading by a score of 3-2. The Pirates, though, have the tying run on third, 1 out. Now Seaver eyes the runner. Matty Alou delivers. A towering pop-up down the right field line. It might go to the crowd. Looking for a play is Shamsky. It's into the crowd. So near and so far. Art Shamsky pinned himself up against the field box railing, tried to reach over and grab it, but it was just out of his reach. Now Tom Seaver has a 2-strike count on Roberto Clemente. Seaver has walked none, struck out 4, allowed 2 runs, given up 5 base hits. The sun breaks through the overcast, and Tom McKenna, the trainer of the New York Mets, brings the sunglasses out. They also take the glasses to Cleon Jones in left field. Sunglasses brought out to Joe Foy and to Cleon Jones. The angle of the sun has the sun right in the eyes of the third baseman and the left fielder. Now the Mets dugout trying to get the attention of Ron Swoboda, and they move Swoboda closer to the right field line. The windup by Seaver. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit hard. A base hit to left field. The game is tied as Matty Alou comes home. Clemente with his second run batted in. Well, Roberto Clemente picking up where he left off. Now has 2 for 3 and 2 runs batted in. He hit a hard ground ball through the hole into left field. The game is tied 3-3, and the batter is Willie Stargell. Stargell has bounced to first and flied to right, nothing for 2. Mets have the infield looking for 2. Now the pitch. Curve hit on the ground to second base. Wayne Garrett charging in. Throws to second. Force play on Clemente. Ball hit slowly. 1 was all they could hope for, and they got the lead runner, Roberto Clemente. Wayne Garrett to Bud Harrelson. So with 2 men away, the first baseman, Al Oliver, comes up. He hit a long triple to right center in the second and later scored, and he fouled out to Joe Foy in the 4th inning. The Pirates have 3 runs on 6 hits, and 4 of their 6 hits have been extra base hits. The Mets have 6 base hits, and 3 of their 6 have been extra base hits. Now Seaver checks the runner, Willie Stargell. And the pitch on the way. Fastball at the knees, strike 1 call. No game tomorrow, the concluding game of this 2-game series, Thursday night. Art Shamsky holding against the runner. And Seaver's pitch, lined hard to deep left field. Back goes Cleon Jones, and he makes the catch. The side is out. A long drive to the opposite field, taken by Cleon. The Pirates tie the game, scoring 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of 6, the score, the New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 3.
All roads lead to Carmody Ford and Mercury at the junction of routes 29 and 40 in busy Greenwich. Come to Carmody Carland and see their big selection of Fords in stock. You'll find Torinos, Mustangs, Thunderbirds, Falcons, and the new Maverick in dozens of different body styles. Remember, you can't say Carmody without saying car. And for the best deal on a car, see Bill Rowe, Joe Zostak, or Jack Carmody. A good bunch of guys to do business with at Carmody Ford. Before you buy, check the Carmody deal. You'll like doing business at Carmody. Their overhead is low, and at Carmody Ford, everybody works to serve their customers. There are no padded payrolls. Every dollar you pay goes into automobile value. Take the pleasant drive to Greenwich. It's only minutes to Carmody, your country Ford dealer. For the best deal on a car, see the men at Carmody Ford and Mercury. You can't say Carmody without saying car, and the best deal on a car is at Carmody Ford and Mercury at the junction of routes 29 and 40 in busy Greenwich.
With the score tied 3-3, we go to the 7th inning now, and Tom Seaver is up to lead off for the Mets. Seaver has struck out and grounded out in his 2 previous appearances at the plate today. He's a right-hand batter facing right-hand pitcher Steve Blass. Blass was a 16-game winner last year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The pitch is high for a ball. Blass makes his home in Canaan, Connecticut. Seaver makes his home in Greenwich, Connecticut. Pitch is in for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Tommy Agee is waiting on deck now for the New York Mets. The Mets had a 2-run lead. The Pirates came back to tie it at 2-2. The Mets had a 1-run lead. The Pirates came back to tie it at 3-3. There's a delivery swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Seaver trying to chop that ball to the right side. Mazeroski is playing on the rim of the outfield grass at second base. Lights have been on here since the 3rd inning at Forbes Field. Now the pitch swung on and missed, and Blass gets his 6th strikeout of the day. 1 Met out in the 7th, and Tommy Agee is coming up. Joe Gibbon and Twiggy Hartenstein are throwing in the bullpen now for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Left-hander Joe Gibbon. Slight right-hander Twiggy Hartenstein. Agee is 2 for 3, and here's a pitch foul back out of play. Agee singled and later scored in the first inning. Singled, stole a base, and later scored in the third inning. Grounded out second to first in the fifth inning. Blass has settled down after getting off to a shaky start here. Now the pitch. It's high for a ball. Jerry Mays behind the plate this afternoon on opening day for the Pirates. Manny Sanguillen would have been there, but for the fact that swinging at a pitch at the Pirate camp in Bradenton, he pulled a muscle underneath the rib cage, and after watching him take batting practice yesterday, Danny Murtaugh scratched him and inserted Jerry May. That pitch is low and away. May steps out in front of the plate now, returning the ball to Steve Blass. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Met bullpen is down in the left field corner. The Pirate bullpen down in the right field corner here at Forbes Field. This will be a 2-1 delivery. Steve Blass offers, and it's swung on and fouled off the ankle of Tommy Agee. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bud Harrelson is on deck. The Mets starting lineup today provided something of a surprise in that Art Shamsky was at first base, Wayne Garrett at second. Ken Boswell was away for 4 days on military reserve duty in Texas, and manager Gil Hodges said yesterday he just didn't think that Boswell would be sharp enough to be in the opening day lineup. Boswell did return late yesterday. There's a curveball in for a called strike 3. Blass with a curveball strikes out Agee for his 7th strikeout of the day. So strikeouts back to back, and now Bud Harrelson's coming up. Fly to center, grounded out third to first, grounded out pitcher to first. Harrelson is a switch hitter batting left. Here's a pitch. Swung on, and Luke got into right field. It's in there for a base hit. Clemente comes up, plays it back, and Bud Harrelson turns and holds with a looping single to right field. It comes with 2 men out here in the top of the 7th and brings up Joe Foy. Foy grounded out, had a sacrifice fly to right to drive in a run, and struck out swinging. Officially, Foy is 0 for 2 in his debut as a New York Met here this afternoon. The Mets go ahead in total base hits now, 7 to the Pirates 6. Foy has a closed stance at the plate. He can hit with some power. He had 11 home runs last year at Kansas City. Swung on a high infield pop to the right side. Mazeroski calls. He's underneath up near the rim of the infield grass. Makes the catch. Side is out. It's no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. In the middle of the 7th inning, the score is the New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 3. Well, Met fans, D-Day for the biggest, best, and most colorful Met yearbook ever is April 14th, next Tuesday, when the 1970 edition goes on sale at Shea Stadium. 64 pages and more than 250 photographs, including 28 pages of photos in 4 colors, graphically recreating the amazing miracle of the Mets. The centerfold is a 2-page picture in rich color of the World Championship team, suitable for framing. In addition to the career records of every player, the 1970 blockbuster edition includes a 4-page World Series section portraying the drama of the classic, climaxed by a full page of the tumultuous celebration scenes in the triumphant clubhouse. All this and more, much more than any yearbook ever had, makes its debut April 14th. It can be purchased at Shea Stadium for 75 cents. Fans who wish to order copies by mail can write to New York Mets Yearbook Department, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, zip code 11368, and enclose $1 for each copy, which will also cover the cost of mailing and handling. We'll be going to the bottom of the 7th inning here now. The Pirates will have Gene Alley up there to lead off, facing Tom Seaver, who started and has been all the way for the New York Mets. A 3-3 tie in the 7th inning. The Pirate fans are up and stretching. Gene Alley struck out and lined out to second base. Now the pitch is outside for a ball. Gary Grote sends out a sign, and here's Seaver's 1-0 offering. It's in there for a called strike. Gene Alley hit .246 last year over the course of a season, much of which was spent on the bench by him because of injuries. He is a former National League All-Star shortstop. Here's a foul ball backing out of play, and it goes to 1-2 to Gene Alley. Jerry May is waiting on deck. Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the hardest hitting teams in baseball, and the New York Mets, the defending world champions, are tied 3-3. Breaking pitch fouled off. And he just got the bat on the ball. It's just what he was trying to do with that one. Thinking it just might catch the outside corner, knew he couldn't pull it. It's fouled off, and the count is 1-2. Again, Seaver offers up a pitch. Pixel out off of that one, and the change is hit in the air to center, and Agee can't get it. It's a base hit. One hopped and played back. So Alley gets a base hit off the change. It's a leadoff single for the Pirates here in the bottom of the seventh. They have the tie-breaking run on board with nobody out, and Jerry May coming up. Let's see how manager Danny Murtaugh plays it. Now, May, his catcher, is a long ball hitter. He hit .232 last year. He's the number 7 man in the order. He's followed by Mazeroski. Art Shamsky comes over now to hold against the runner at first base for the Mets. Seaver up and set. Here's the pitch to May. He squares, bunts foul. It's out of play, right down at his feet. So the sacrifice was on. Now, does Murtaugh leave it on the second pitch? Does he switch off and go to the hit and run? Frank Osiak is relaying the sign now to Jerry May. Joe Foy is guarding the line at third, ready to charge. Shamsky is holding against the runner at first. Jerry Grote alert behind the plate, ready to get out there on the possible bunt. The count is strike one to Jerry May. Seaver is working off the stretch, checks the runner. Here's the pitch. May squares, bunts and misses. It's strike two. Now, would he leave it on all the way? Chances are he would not. Chances are he would allow May to swing away. That's what May's finding out now. Meanwhile, manager Gil Hodges has action in the Met bullpen. Left-hander Tug McGraw, right-hander Ron Taylor up and throwing. We're in the seventh inning. This is a two-strike delivery to May. The bunt's not on. He fouls it back with a full swing out of play. So the count holds at 0-2 to Jerry May. He's reading the sound of Osiak again. Chances are he'll be free to swing away from here on out with an 0-2 count. But the bunt was on for the first two pitches. Score tied, 3-3 in the seventh. Now the pitch swung on and popped up foul down the line and left, drifting toward the stands, out of play. Count continues at 2 strikes. The Mets got 2 runs from the top of the first. Pirates got 1 in the bottom of the first and 1 in the bottom of the second to make it a 2-2 tie. In the top of the third, the Mets went ahead again, getting a single in to make it 3-2. Pirates got 1 in the sixth to make it 3-3, and that's where we are just now. We're in the bottom of the seventh, score tied. Here's a swing and a drive deep to left, way back, but stays fair. It's gone, and it is a foul ball. A foul ball, way down over a wall in the left field corner. Jerry May, whom, as we say, is capable of hitting the long ball, rode one out of here, a foul ball. Oh boy, the count's 0-2 to Jerry May as he comes back to the plate. Picks up the bat, handful of dirt. He's fouled off 3 straight 0-2 pitches. Seaver hasn't wasted any on him. He's had him in the strike zone. The runner at first is Gene Alley. Shamsky holds against him. And here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike 3. Seaver caught him looking. 5 strikeouts for Seaver. Blass has struck out 7. Bill Mazeroski's coming up. The field captain of the Pittsburgh Pirates has popped to third and grounded out to the pitcher unassisted. That was on a little squibbler down the first base line in the 5th inning. Maz is followed in the batting order by pitcher Steve Blass. Now Seaver checks and deals. Pitcher's in for a called strike. Mazeroski looks down to Frank Osiak, the coach at third. See if there's any possibility of a hit and run. Twiggy Hardenstein continues to throw in the bullpen for the Pirates in case they want to go to a pinch hitter for Blass. Here's a swing and a high pop fly to the right side. Garrett's back. Swoboda's coming in. Who's going to call? Swoboda calls. Loses the cap but makes the catch. Holding at first now is Alou, and Blass is going to bat for himself. Blass is a pretty good hitting pitcher. What that means is that he takes a good cut and is not an automatic out, as many pitchers are. Blass has struck out and grounded out pitcher to first so far today. Sun breaks through the overcast as it has done on several occasions this afternoon. 2 men out, runner at first, bottom half of the 7th, score tied. Seaver off the stretch, sidearmed and belted into center. It's a base hit. Agee over, up with it, holding at second is Alou. The throw comes in, runners at first and second. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is your New York Mets baseball station in Saratoga Springs, New York. WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your dial.
At Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, where the Pirates have runners at first and second with 2 men out, and Matty Alou coming up. Met catcher Jerry Grote's gone out for a word with Tom Seaver. The score is tied 3-3. The sun is shining brightly at this moment. Matty Alou has doubled and tripled and grounded out in 3 times at the plate today. Seaver's work is cut out for him. That is the tie-breaking run at second base. Now Seaver sets up. The pitch to the left-hand batter. Swung on and foul back. It's strike 1. Matty Alou is one of the toughest men in the National League to strike out. He gets the bat on the ball somehow, some way. Pirate runners lead at first and second. Blass wearing the jacket on the base path. Seaver off the stretch. Pitch outside. Fastball. It's 1-1. Alou struck out only 35 times last year and 698 times at bat. That's getting the bat on the ball. Here's a curveball, and it's taken by Seaver. A line drive that Seaver went up and snared at the mound for the out. It was a punch line drive. Seaver had it in the webbing of his glove with a lot of white showing. But the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. In the 7 innings, the score is the Mets 3 and the Pirates 3. The New York Mets are coming up now in the 8th inning, and manager Gil Hodges has sent Mike Jorgensen down to the bullpen to loosen up. Jorgensen's loosening up now. If the Mets get a run, Jorgensen will come in to play first base. So, anticipating the possibility of getting a run here in the 8th, Gil Hodges has sent Jorgensen down to warm up. It'll be Cleon Jones, Art Shamsky, and Ron Swoboda up for the Mets in the 8th inning. Jones has doubled a drive and a run, walked and struck out. Here's a swing and a base hit. No, it's cut off by Mazeroski, and he makes the play at first in time. Listen to the roar of appreciation from the fans here at Forbes Field. Cleon Jones lined that ball to right, and Mazeroski went back on the outfield grass, gloved it, and threw on in time to retire the runner. Well, Mazeroski's been doing that for these many years here at Forbes Field. And he just robbed Cleon Jones, the first man up for the Mets in the 8th inning. That brings up Art Shamsky. Shamsky's 2 for 3 today. He singled a drive and a run, slide to center, and double. 1 man out, nobody on base. The score tied 3-3 in the 8th inning. Steve Blass has been in all the way. He's gotten stronger as he's gone. There's a fly ball to center, and Alou moves up. He's there waiting for that when Matty Alou takes the fly ball. So, 2 pitchers and 2 away here in the 8th, and Ron Swoboda's coming up. Grounded out, doubled, and was called out on strike. In the National League, at the end of 7 innings of play at Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, it's the Phils 2 and the Chicago Cubs nothing. Ferguson Jenkins against Chris Short. That's the only other action going in the National League just now. In the American League, the Boston Red Sox lead the Yankees 1-0 in the middle of the second. Gary Peters against Mel Stottlemyre. Pitch is low and away to Swoboda now for ball 1. 2 men out, nobody on. Here's a swing and a ground ball to Mazeroski at second. He has it. Plays to first. The Mets are out in the 8th. It's no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the 8th inning, the score is the Mets 3 and the Pirates 3.
Well, Mets fans, we're into another season, and we hope a really great one for your ball club. Friendly Freddy is also going into another season of car washing, a really great one for his club. Friendly Freddy's is the only fully automatic car wash in Saratoga Springs. Their motto is, nothing for you to do but sit back and relax. Friendly Freddy's Car Wash offers you the quickest and most convenient car washing service in Saratoga. They're located on High Rock Avenue, 1 block off Lake Avenue. At Friendly Freddy's, they have a facility for everyone. A coin-operated wash for the do-it-yourselfers, the most up-to-date vacuum cleaners, and, of course, the automatic car wash. You just drive in, stay in your automobile, and before you know it, your car is coming out cleaned and, if you like, waxed. All this service for only $1.25. Wax is 50 cents extra. Believe me, Mets fans, this is a bargain with today's inflated prices. Come on in and give them a try.
For the New York Mets, Mike Jorgensen has come in to play first base now. So Jorgensen is in place of Shamsky. Swoboda stays in right field. Score tied. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and it'll be Richie Hebner up to lead off the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hebner has struck out, doubled, and popped out so far, facing Tom Seaver, who's been in all the way. Pirates have had 8 hits, and the Mets have had 7. Seaver's pitch is hit deep to right field. Swoboda is in the warning track and makes the catch in front of the wall in right field. So there's one away, and Roberto Clemente is coming up. He's had 2 base hits today. He's 2 for 3. He has driven in 2 of the Pirates' 3 runs. The end of 5 innings of play in the American League. The Cleveland Indians 2 and the Baltimore Orioles 1. Sam McDowell against Dave McNally. The Oakland A's are at Kansas City against the Royals. It's Blue Moon Odom 15-6 against Wally Bunker 12-11. At the end of 4 innings of play, the Minnesota Twins 3, the Chicago White Sox nothing. Jim Perry 20-6 against Tommy John 9-11. Seaver's pitch to Clemente is low for a ball. At the end of 3 innings, the Cal Angels 4 and the Milwaukee Brewers nothing. Andy Messersmith 16-11 against Lou Krause 7-7. The Detroit Tigers are at Washington tonight. Detroit defeated Washington in the presidential opener yesterday. Swinging a ground ball up the middle, and it's going through for a base hit. Clemente has 3. Tommy Agee returns the ground ball. So now Clemente's on at first with 1 man out, and Big Willie Stargell's coming up. No action at this moment in the Met bullpen, but we're going to get some any second. Stargell hit into a double play, slide to right, and grounded into a force play so far today. The score is tied 3-3. That was the 9th hit for the Pirates today. Ron Taylor gets up and begins to throw in the Met bullpen. Seaver works off the stretch to the left-hand batter Stargell. Curveball. It's hit in the air to deep left, but Jones has it lined up. Cleon Jones is there halfway. Clemente returns to first. There are 2 men out. That'll bring up Al Oliver. He tripled all the way to the iron gate in right, fouled out to third, and lined out to left. In the National League, Houston is at San Francisco playing at Candlestick later this afternoon. The Atlanta Braves are at San Diego tonight against the Padres. Cincinnati Reds are at Los Angeles tonight against the Dodgers. Cincinnati in the preseason opener defeated Montreal yesterday. The St. Louis Cardinals have not yet opened. They will open tomorrow in Montreal against the Expos. Right here, the score is tied 3-3, and Al Oliver is up. He hit .285 with 17 home runs last year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Seaver checks and deals. Here's a swing and a foul ball. It's going to go out of play into the stands behind third base. Strike 1 to Oliver. Only Ron Taylor, a right-hander, throwing in the Met bullpen. Jorgensen holding against the runner at first base. That's outside for a ball. In talking with baseball writers yesterday, manager Gil Hodges volunteered the opinion that he considers Mike Jorgensen one of the finest defensive first basemen he's ever seen. Pitch to Oliver. Swung it on the ground to second base. Taken by Garrett. He goes to Jorgensen, and the side is out. It's no runs a hit, no errors, and one left. At the end of 8 full innings of play, the score is the New York Mets 3 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 3.
Hi, this is Bob Walton at Walton Sports Shop, urging you to stop in and see us when you need camping equipment. Now that vacation time is on its way, have you found in checking over your equipment that you need something additional? Stop in and see the wide selection we have to offer. Walton's carries pack frames, canteens, and mess kits. If this is your first year for tenting, then be sure that you see Walton's for all styles of tents, air mattresses, and Coleman stoves and lanterns. Walton's also carries a full line of famous name sleeping bags. Of course, at Walton's, hunters can find everything in one convenient location: guns, ammunition, and hand-loading equipment, as well as rifle scopes to make those long shots surer and safer. A complete line of equipment for all sports is what you'll find at Walton Sports Shop, Lake Avenue in Saratoga, where sportsmen cater to sportsmen.
The New York Mets are up in the 9th inning, and it's the number 7 man in the batting order, Wayne Garrett, to lead off. He has struck out, flied to right, and was intentionally walked. Officially 0 for 2. With the pitcher scheduled to bat third in the inning, Ron Taylor continues to throw in the Met bullpen. Blass with a pitch that's hit on the ground to first base, taken at the bag by Oliver for the out. A scribbling ground ball just to the bag in fair territory. Oliver simply had to put his foot on the bag when he got it. We all want America the Beautiful. Let's not have it another way. The people at Rheingold ask you to keep America beautiful. Ed Kranepool has moved out on deck now with Grote at the plate. Here's a swing and a miss for strike one. Jerry Grote has gone 0 for 3 today. Ron Taylor still throwing in the bullpen. It's high and away for a ball. So Kranepool is out there to bat for Seaver. For Seaver to be credited with a victory, the Mets would have to take the lead in this inning if Kranepool bats for him. Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's low. 2-1. Joe Gibbon is throwing now, the left-hander, down the bullpen for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Joe Gibbon. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and foul back. Steve Blass said before yesterday's ball game that of the Mets, he always thought Kranepool hit him better than anybody. We're in the 9th and the score is tied, 3-3. The count to Grote is 2-2. Blass with the pitch, swung on and missed. Strikeout number 8 for the Pirate right-hander. So there are 2 Mets out, nobody on. Kranepool is up to bat for Tom Seaver. Pitch is low for a ball. Tommy Agee is on deck. Mets batting in the 9th. Foul back. That's one way to get out of the way of it, Ralph.
I'll say, Lindsay, that really broke that glass right over here. It hit that glass just to your right.
It does that. I was aware of that. 1-1 to count to Kranepool. Swung on and fouled off. So it's 1-2. 2 men out, nobody on base. May is going out now for a word with Steve Blass.
Lindsay, I got news for you. This game is not official.
Is that not a Chubb Feeney baseball?
This is not a Chubb Feeney baseball. It has Warren Giles' name on it. This game can count.
Warren Giles is not the president of the National League. Cranepool now measures his stance. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. Strikeout number 9 for Blass. The Mets are out in the 9th inning as Cranepool goes down swinging. It's no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the 9th inning, the score is still tied. The Mets 3 and the Pirates 3.
Globe Supply, downtown Saratoga, is the place to go for Raleigh and Roll Fast bicycles. You'll find a large selection to choose from, and they come in all speeds. Every new bicycle purchased at Globe Supply comes fully assembled and carries a 90-day service and maintenance guarantee. You can also have your bike repaired by experienced mechanics at Globe. For all your bicycle accessories and parts for English or American bikes, shop Globe Supply, downtown Saratoga, open daily from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday night until 9 p.m.
John Hancock introduces Rich Man coverage for the not yet rich. A life insurance package with an initial benefit of $100,000. Very good for the ego. And you can afford it. If you're 24, you may have to pay about $38 a month. Ask Ben Yanklowicz about Rich Man coverage. $100,000 worth of life insurance that'll make you feel like $1 million. Call Ben, 783-5571, or write Ben Yank, Box J, Latham, New York, 12110 for more details.
John Hancock, huh?
We'll be going now to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Ron Taylor has come in to do the pitching for the New York Mets. Ron Taylor. Tom Seaver pitched the first 8 innings, gave up 3 runs on 9 hits, struck out 5, walked none. Seaver cannot be the winning or the losing pitcher in this ballgame. It'll be Gene Alley coming up to lead off for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Score tied, 3-3. Ron Taylor was in 59 games for the New York Mets last year. Here's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Taylor had an appearance in the championship series and was in the World Series as well in 2 games. He had 2 appearances in the championship series and 2 in the World Series. Sidearm pitch is hit on the ground to short. Harrelson up and over to Jorgensen in time, and Alley is out. Now Jerry May. He had a sacrifice fly to right in the second as Swoboda turned in a circus catch of the ball. He flied to center in the 5th and was called out on strikes in the 7th after having fouled the ball down the left field corner, barely foul out of the park. Hit on the ground, back to the mound. Taken by Taylor, over to Jorgensen, and Jerry May is out. So there are 2 men out, and Bill Mazeroski's coming up now. Popped to third, grounded out to Seaver unassisted, and flied to right. Plus, the Pirate fans have never forgotten that it was Mazeroski who won a World Championship for them back in 1960. With a 9th inning home run over the left field wall. It sailed over the head of Yankee left fielder Yogi Berra. There's a swing and a drive to the left. Cleon Jones going back and makes the catch on the run in front of the scoreboard for the out. We'll be going to extra innings in the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. The score at the end of 9 full innings is tied. The Mets 3 and the Pirates 3.
Having a problem in deciding where to take your group on its next outing? If so, let the Mets Group Sales Department solve it for you. This department is manned by experts in handling both men's and women's groups. These same specialists encourage community and civic organizations, social and fraternal clubs, youth, family, and athletic groups to take in a Mets ball game and enjoy a day at Shea. In addition to providing group ticket sales for a ball game, our representatives will be happy to furnish you with all the details of the beautiful restaurants at Shea Stadium, which are available for parties, large or small, up to 700 persons. For groups of 100 or more, recognition will be given to your organization on the changeable message scoreboard here at Shea. You can easily obtain additional information simply by writing to Group Sales Manager, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. Or, if you like, telephone 212-672-3000. The representative handling your area will be more than happy to personally speak before your men's or women's group, large or small, and explain all the details. Call or write today and enjoy a day at Shea.
And coming in here now for the play-by-play, Ralph Keimer.
Thank you, Lindsey Nelson. And once again, hi, everyone. Tommy Agee will lead off in the ball game now here in extra innings. The Mets have never gone to extra innings on opening day, and they have never won an opening day game. So another real minor milestone, I guess you'd have to say, Lindsey.
Well, it's all of that. It's been an exciting day of baseball, indicative, I think, of what we can expect all season long.
Here's a final score in that Philadelphia game, and a big one for the Phillies as Chris Short, making a comeback, was the winning pitcher over Chicago by a score of 2-0. He pitched a 5-hitter. Ferguson Jenkins was the losing pitcher. Short had a back operation last year and missed all the season. So the Phillies looking for pitching and finding it right there with their veteran left-hander, Chris Short. Right here, 3-3. Pirates have had 9 hits. The Mets have had 7. And Tommy Agee, the first batter, and the first pitch by Twiggy Hartenstein. By Steve Blass, is swung on a miss, strike one. Agee 2 for 4 in the game. He has scored 2 runs. Now Blass back, and the pitch is hit hard by the third baseman into left field. And Tommy Agee now 3 for 5. Tommy makes the turn at first, and the Mets have a runner at first base with no one out here in the 10th inning. That'll bring up shortstop Bud Harrelson. Bud has a base hit and 4 times up. He dropped a single into right field his last time up. Pirates are looking for the sacrifice attempt. Richie Hebner, the third baseman, about 60 feet away. He moves up even closer, and the pitch is bunted and bunted foul. Back out of play. Strike one. Joe Gibbon and now Twiggy Hartenstein again throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates. Steve Blass going here in the 10th inning. He has outlasted Tom Seaver. Steve won 16, lost 10 last year, and the right-hander now sets. Again, the third baseman in close, expecting a bunt. Here comes the first baseman. The ball is a pitch out, and it's ball 1. On the play, evidently, the first baseman, Al Oliver, missed the sign for the pitch out and was charging in. He was nowhere near the bag, and there was no attempt at all for play at first. No one there. Tommy Agee, the runner at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Now Blass with a throw to first base, but Agee back easily. It was a calling card throw, nothing on it. Blass sets up again. And the pitch. It is way inside. Harrelson has to spin around and go to the ground to get out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike. That ball couldn't have missed him very far, and of course the Mets would have hoped that it had hit him. Two balls, 1 strike. Now Blask again sets up. And the pitch. It is bunted out toward first base. It's a good bunt. Oliver makes the tag on Harrelson as he comes by. There was no chance for a play, for force play at second. And Agee is now on at second base in scoring position with 1 away, and the batter coming up in the top of the 10th inning is Joe Foy. Now the sun shining brightly in Pittsburgh. This has been, as Lindsey said, an extremely exciting ball game. Here's the pitch. And a curveball breaks over, called strike. Joe Foy punching on it. Strike 1 count. Blass has pitched a very strong ball game. He has struck out 9 while giving up 8 base hits. He has walked 2, 1 intentionally. Now the next pitch, it is swung on and missed. And again the curve, strike 2. Mets have Cleon Jones on deck. And they have the go-ahead run at second base. Tommy Agee there. with 1 out in the top of the 10th. Now the signs are out. And a play on at second base. Agee back easily. Shortstop Gene Alley coming over to take the throw from Blass. It was not even a bit close. 2-strike count. Agee off the bag at second. And the pitch. It is low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yogi Berra, the coach at first base, yelling encouragement to Joe Foy. Eddie Yost guarding the runner at second base, his third base coaching spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blass all set to go, and the pitch. It is popped up. The catcher, Jerry May, under the ball, right by his catcher's position, and he makes the catch. So Joe Foy is out. That gives the Pirates their second out in the 10th inning, and it brings up Cleon Jones with the go-ahead run at second base. And we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
You're listening to New York Mets baseball on WKAJ-FM 102.3 in Saratoga Springs, New York, the home of the New York Mets.
Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. A 3-3 ball game. The Mets with a runner at second. 2 men out, top of the 10th. And the batter is Cleon Jones. Cleon has a double and 3 official times up, a run batted in, and he had a base hit taken away by Bill Mazeroski, the second baseman. And the first pitch by Blass is high. It's ball 1. Cleon also has walked. Right here, Lindsey. A 340 batter off last year's performance. First base is open. And Mike Jorgensen, the on-deck batter, a rookie. Danny Murtaugh is having his pitcher work to Cleon Jones. Now the 1-0 pitch. A check swing, ground ball out toward the hole at second base. Mazeroski back in deep right field. He fields the ball, makes the play. Now a play at the plate, and coming in to score is Agee. And he is tagged out, and the tag retired. Bill Mazeroski going back into shallow right field to pick that ball up on the ground. He knew he had no play at first base. He turned and flipped the ball home. A little easy throw, the best he could do. It was perfect, right on line, and Eddie Yost, hoping to surprise Bill Mazeroski and the Pirates, had sent Tommy Agee in, and he was an easy out at the plate as the tag was made by Jerry May. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on, and the score. In the middle of the 10th inning, the New York Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 3.
The finest in Italian cuisine and a wide array of steaks, chops, and seafood await your dining pleasure at Mangino's Restaurant, located on the south end of Saratoga Lake. But there's a big difference between just ordinary Italian or American cuisine and Mangino's fine food. At Mangino's, your order is never prepared hours before. Mangino's realize that good food cannot be hurried, and they ask you to give them a little time to prepare it properly. All dishes are prepared to your order when your order is placed, never before, and it hasn't been simmering away for hours or minutes. That's the big difference at Mangino's. Why not enjoy eating Italian food the way it should be savored and dine at Mangino's Restaurant, located on the south end of Saratoga Lake on Route 9P, just 2 miles from Route 9. A complete line of Italian specialties are served to tempt the palate, and their steaks and chops and seafood are equally as delightful. If you're planning a party or a banquet for up to 75, call Mangino's for their special party menu. That's Mangino's Restaurant, the home of truly fine foods on Route 9P at the south end of Saratoga Lake.
We're going now to the bottom of the 10th inning. The Pirates coming up. The score tied 3-3, and a pinch hitter for Steve Blass is going to be Bob Robertson. Bob last year started the season with the Pirates, batted .208, and was sent down to the minor leagues where he batted .261, but with 34 home runs. Robertson, a power hitter, utility ball player, first baseman, third baseman, outfielder, and a power hitter batting for Steve Blass. So both starting pitchers, Tom Seaver and Steve Blass, are out of the ball game, and the game will be in the hands of Ron Taylor, and later on, if it goes into the 11th, a relief pitcher of the Pirates. And the first pitch to Robertson. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Robertson had a tremendous spring training. He batted .441 in the spring with 3 home runs and 14 runs batted in. And the pitch. Breaking ball just outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Robertson has changed his batting position in the batter's box. He has moved up on the plate. He used to be so far away that as a pull hitter, he had no chance to reach the outside pitch, but now he is right on top of the plate. 1-1 pitch, a fastball at the knees, and it's in for a called strike. 1-2. Ron Taylor, veteran relief pitcher, on the mound for the Mets in place of Tom Seaver. Ron came in the ball game in the 9th. Retired the Pirates 1-2-3. Now the 1-2 pitch. It is hit high in the air in foul territory, out of play. Cal Angels have added 4 runs. They now lead Milwaukee 8-0. That game being played in Milwaukee after 3.5 innings. Minnesota out in front of Chicago by a score of 6-0 after 6. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Taylor again back. And the pitch is just low. It's 2-2. Boston 2, the Yankees nothing after 3. Cleveland 2, Baltimore 1 after 6. The end of 1.5, Oakland 1, Kansas City 1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tie game 3-3, bottom of the 10th, no one out. And the pitch to Robertson is hit high in the air to center field. Towering high fly ball. Tommy Agee pounding the glove is under it, and he makes the catch. 1 away in the bottom half of the 10th, and that brings up Matty Alou. Alou has doubled and tripled in 4 times up. He has scored 2 runs, and he's batting for the first time against Ron Taylor. Alou being played just about straight away by the Mets. Cleon Jones near the line in left field, shaded over just a little bit. And Taylor's first pitch. It is bounced foul by the third baseman, Joe Foy. And it's strike 1. Frank Osiak, the third base coach for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Don Leppard at first base for the Pirates. Now the pitch. Grounded right back to Ron Taylor. He takes the 1-hopper, throws to first base, 2 men away. Now with 2 men out in the bottom of the 10th inning, the batter will be the third baseman, Richie Hebner. Richie has a double and 4 official times up in the game. Hebner, a left-hand batter, just returned from being best man at his brother's wedding up in Boston. And the first pitch by Taylor, high fastball, up above the eyes. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Philadelphia defeated Chicago 2-0 today. Chris Short pitching a 5-hitter. Ferguson Jenkins, the losing pitcher. Now the 1-0 pitch, again high and away, ball 2. Tug McGraw is loosening up in the bullpen for the Mets. Twiggy Hartenstein, a right-hander, throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates. Pirates will have a new pitcher if the game goes to the 11th. Now at 2-0, the pitch to Hebner. It is outside and high, ball 3. The on-deck batter is Roberto Clemente. So it's 3-0 to Hebner with Clemente due up next. Clemente's had a hot day today. Taylor now on top the pitching rubber, checking out the sign. Here's the windup and the 3-0 delivery. It is swung on but grounded foul. Strike 1. Hebner turned loose with 2 men away in the bottom of the 10th inning. And he grounded the ball foul, and the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Mets opening up their first game of the 70 season with an extra inning ball game. Now swinging a foul back into the stands, and the count fills out to 3-2. Starting pitchers, Houston at San Francisco. Larry Dierker, a 20-game winner last year, against Gaylord Perry, a 19-game winner last year. And the 3-2 pitch to Hebner. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Ron Taylor has retired his first 6 batters. That's his first strikeout. And the score at the end of 10. The New York Mets 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates 3.
Clear the prop. Saratoga Unicoms, that's 51245. Have you ever wanted to learn to fly? That could be you this summer, taking a friend for a local scenic flight. The Richmore Aviation Flight School at the Saratoga County Airport has 2 full-time flight instructors to give you professional flight training. Richmore Aviation offers flight courses for the private pilot, commercial pilots, instrument rating, and flight instructor. Courses include dual and solo flight time, ground school, FAA, and FCC books and supplies. The Richmore Aviation Flight School is an FAA-approved flight school and is located at the Saratoga County Airport, 3 miles west of the Performing Arts Center on Geyser Crest Road. In Saratoga and the Tri-Cities, phone 885-5354. Or in Glens Falls, phone 792-9949.
Chuck Hartenstein in the ballgame now as the pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates in relief of Steve Blass, who pitched the first 10 innings, allowed 3 runs on 9 hits, struck out 9, and walked 2, one of them intentionally. Twiggy Hartenstein, a right-hander, at one time with the Chicago Cubs. Last year with the Pirates, he was in 56 games. He had a record of 5 wins and 4 losses and an earned run average of 3.94. He is a native Texan, and he weighs 150 pounds. Twiggy Hartenstein in relief of Steve Blass. Mike Jorgensen will be leading off for the Mets. The sun is shining brightly here in the late afternoon at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. It's burned off the overcast entirely. Blue sky overhead with a few fleecy white clouds up there. Jorgensen's up for his first time. He's a left-hand batter. And the pitch is in there for a called strike. Hartenstein last year against the Mets won none and lost 1. His lifetime record against the Mets is 2 wins and 1 loss. His lifetime Major League record 16 and 13. Swinging a base hit into left field for Jorgensen. Fielded out there by Stargell and played back. Jorgensen turns and holds with a single to left. So the Mets again have the tie-breaking run on at first base with nobody out, and Ron Swoboda is coming up. Swoboda today grounded out, double, was called out on strikes and grounded out. Last year, in a memorable appearance here, he had a grand slam home run off Twiggy Hartenstein to win a ball game for the New York Mets. Pirates have to protect against the possible sacrifice. He squares and takes the pitch in for a called strike. Swoboda was around a bunt. He's looking down to Steinman. Eddie Yost at third to see if it's still on. Wayne Garrett is on deck. Here's the pitch, and it's bunted right out in front of the plate. Play at second base, and he is safe. As the throw was high, Alley had to go up, and Jorgensen slid in underneath. So, Swoboda is on at first, Jorgensen's on at second. It is an error charged against the catcher, Jerry May, on the throw. A sacrifice and an error, and that brings up Garrett now with runners at first and second. They still have to protect against the sacrifice. Score is tied 3-3, and we're in the top of the 11th inning. Garrett today struck out, flied out, was intentionally walked and grounded out. Garrett at the plate and Grote on deck. Third baseman Richie Hebner playing in the cutout of the grass at third now in anticipation of a bunt attempt by Wayne Garrett. Hartenstein working off the stretch. Garrett squares, bunts the ball to the first base side of the mound. The play is at first. It is a sack, moving the runners up. It was second baseman Bill Mazeroski who took the throw at first. So now Jorgensen is at third, Swoboda is at second, one man out, and Grote coming up. And coming out on deck now is Ken Boswell to bat for Ron Taylor. Cal Kuntz is up and throwing in the bullpen along with Tug McGraw. We're in the top half of the 11th inning. Score tied 3-3. The Mets with two runners in scoring position. Manager Danny Murtaugh of the Pirates brings his infield in now. Infield in for the Pirates to try to choke off the run. They're going to walk Grote and pitch to Boswell. Grote is being intentionally walked with first base open. This is to set up the double play possibility and the force all around. Outside for one. Here it is, outside, ball two to Grote. Outside, ball three. Now the official score says no sack on Swoboda. Here's the pitch outside, ball four. So the bases are loaded on the intentional walk. Boswell will bat for Taylor. Boswell was not in the starting lineup today because of the fact that he had been away on military reserve duty in Texas. Gene Garber is up and throwing in the bullpen now for the Pittsburgh Pirates, along with Joe Gibbon, the left-hander. It's Gene Garber and Joe Gibbon, and here comes Danny Murtaugh. He might want to make a switch to Joe Gibbon right here, a left-hand pitcher to work to Boswell. Boswell hangs in pretty well with left-hand pitching. Now, Gil Hodges doesn't have to leave him up there. Gil can switch off if he'd like to, as far as rules of the game are concerned. Conference at the mound. Murtaugh looks at the bullpen, that's all, and it's going to be the left-hander Joe Gibbon. Gibbon is coming in now to replace Hartenstein to pitch to Boswell. This spring, Gibbon was in 5 games. He pitched only 6 innings. He allowed 8 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, with an earned run average of 7.50. He is a veteran major leaguer who went from the Pirates to the Giants and came back, and now Clendenon will bat for Boswell. Gil Hodges makes a switch. Boswell, by the way, is out of the ball game. He cannot subsequently appear. And it is Clendenon batting for Boswell. Boswell had been put up as a batter for Taylor. You'll hear a reaction when Clendenon is announced. He played for many years here with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oddly enough, in a newspaper story yesterday in Pittsburgh, he picked the Pirates to win the pennant. Joe Gibbon, with a lifetime record in the majors of 56 wins and 58 losses, has a lifetime record against the Mets of 6 wins and 4 losses. Last year with Pittsburgh, he won 5 and lost 1. With the Giants, he won 1 and lost 3. That's the announcement of Clendenon.
Lindsey Dunn says he gets booed in 4 cities. Montreal, where he played. Pittsburgh, where he played. Atlanta, where he played. Where
Houston,
he lived.
where he did not
Houston,
play.
where he did not play.
You're right.
You recall that was all a part of a deal when Dom refused to report to Houston and was going to retire. Finally was okay to play at Montreal, and then later on the trading date came to the New York Mets.
Gibbon is taking a sign from Jerry May. Left-hand pitcher working to a right-hand batter, and it's on the way. Swung on line up the middle for a base hit. 1 run has scored as Garrett crosses the plate. Swoboda comes across. 2 runs are scored. A play at third on Grote. He slides in safely. Holding it first is Clendenon. A single to center. 2 runs batted in. The New York Mets are out in front by a score of 5-3. 1 pitch, 1 swing of the Clendenon bat, and the New York Mets take a 2-run lead in the top half of the 11th inning. Now Tommy Agee is up. Agee is there. Jorgensen scored and Swoboda scored. Runners at first and third. Here's a swing and a miss for strike one. So Mike Jorgensen, the rookie, delivered a base hit leading off, and he has scored the tie-breaking run here. Swoboda, who was on an error, scored behind him. Grote is at third. Gibbons sets up. Pitches low, and it's blocked. Rolls up a third base line, no advance. It hit in front of the plate and bounded off the chest protector of Jerry May, who kept it in front of him. It rolled up the third base line. No chance for Met runners to advance. Those runs were charged statistically against Twiggy Hartenstein. Mets 5, the Pirates 3. Gibbons pitches low. Jerry Grote is the runner at third. Don Clendon's the runner at first. Bud Harrelson's on deck now for the New York Mets. It was a clean base hit up the middle off the bat of Don Clendon. Swinging a ground ball to second base, taken there by Mazeroski. Kicks the bag, throws to first, double play, and the side is retired. A 4-3 double play on a ground ball near the bag at second. As the New York Mets picked up 2 runs on 2 hits, there was 1 error and there was 1 man left. And so in the middle of the 11th inning, the score is the Mets 5 and the Pirates 3.
Just 2 miles off Lake Avenue on the old Schuylerville Road, you'll find a small but growing business with big plans. Straight's Gardens. The season is just about to begin at Straight's, and while it's still a bit too early to do much planting, Ted and Doris invite you to look over their selection of rose bushes. They're available in many new varieties and all potted for you. Prices on rose bushes at Straight's Gardens start at just $1.50. They have all the new AARS varieties with famous names like Jackson and Perkins, Star and Ball, and the American Rose, too. Ted Straight also has pansies in the market pack and would be more than happy to save some for you. Straight's Gardens, just a little out of the way, but they offer big savings, and the trip is well worth the little time it takes. Keep listening to New York Mets baseball as the season develops. Ted and Doris Straight will have many specials for our Mets listeners. That's Straight's Gardens, just 2 miles from downtown Saratoga, out Lake Avenue on the old Schuylerville Road. A small business with big plans. Straight's Gardens.
Tug McGraw has come on to do the Mets pitching now. Tug McGraw will be pitching for the Mets, facing the Pirates in the bottom of the 11th. Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, and Al Oliver scheduled up here in the bottom of the 11th for the Pirates. Mike Jorgensen, who delivered a base hit leading off the top of the 11th and scored the tie-breaking run, was making his first appearance at the plate this season as a New York Met. The Mets had him up at the tag end of the 1968 season when he batted 14 times and had 2 base hits. He was not with the Mets at any time last season. He is the only rookie on the Mets squad, and he was brought on as a late-inning replacement for Art Shamsky, who started at first base. Ron Taylor is out of the ball game, of course, having pitched 2 innings and retired 6 consecutive batters. No runs, no hits, struck out 1 and walked none. Augie Donatelli is asking the public address announcer to make an announcement asking fans to refrain from throwing debris onto the field out in right field. And here it is. Ron Taylor is the pitcher of record on the long side of a 5-3 score just now. Twiggy Hartenstein is the pitcher of record on the short side of that score. Manager Gil Hodges up on the steps of the Met dugout, just retreating now. Most of the Mets are on the dugout steps. Bottom half of the 11th inning, Roberto Clemente is up. What a day he's had for the Pirates. He's 3 for 4, and he's knocked in 2 of the 3 Pirate runs. McGraw's pitch, low for a ball. Nolan Ryan is up and throwing in the Met bullpen now. Nolan Ryan and Cal Kuntz. Hodges yelling something out to McGraw on the mound. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Big Willie Stargell on deck. This will be a 1-1 pitch. It's low, and McGraw goes behind, 2-1. Jerry Grote sends out the sign. Here's a 2-1 delivery. A little low now. McGraw's gone behind, 3-1. To Clemente, who looks down to sign man Frank Osiak at third. See if he's taking or if he's turned loose. Pirates trail by 2 in the 11th. Swing and a foul ball. He was turned loose, fouls it off. The count runs to 3-2. Brad Alou has hit 2 home runs this afternoon for the Minnesota Twins. He just came over to them from Ted Williams' Washington Senators, each with 2 men on. Brad Alou, A-L-Y-E-A. Pitch is high, and it's a walk, a leadoff walk to Clemente in the 11th inning. So don't go away, it's not over yet. Willie Stargell coming up is the tying run at the plate. That is the first walk issued by Met pitching today. The first walk issued by Met pitching today comes in the 11th inning. Stargell, who hit 29 home runs last year, is up. Today he is grounded into a double play, flied to right, grounded into a forced play, and flied to left. Play is held up once again now as debris continues to be thrown onto the playing field out and right all around Ron Swoboda. And so members of the grounds crew are being sent out there to try to clean some of it up. There are 5 members of the grounds crew going out and right now to try to clean up some of the debris that has been thrown out of the right field stand. Don't around Ron Swoboda. Umpires talk it over at home plate while Chris Pellacutis is out there in short right field. Meanwhile, Tug McGraw continues to throw to try to keep his arm warm.
Lindsay, there's a fella coming out with a box that must be, well, I don't know, 3 feet deep, about 2 feet wide, and I hope they're not going to fill that box up. We'll be here till the rest of the afternoon wears out.
They could fill it up with what they have out there. Another fellow has a broom, and he is sweeping the warning track. I suppose the most crushed fellow of all must be a youngster who jumped down out of the stands and went across the outfield totally unnoticed and unmolested while they cleaned up the debris. Nobody paid any attention to him whatsoever. Stargell is leaning on his bat at the plate. New York Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates will be playing here again on Thursday night. We'll be on the air at 8 p.m. New York time to bring you that one. Then the Mets will move on to St. Louis. They'll play Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Then the Mets will come home to New York. They'll open up at Shea Stadium 1 week from today. That's Tuesday afternoon, April 14th, the Mets and the Pirates. Pitching coach Rube Walker has been out for a word with Tug McGraw. Walker's coming back to the dugout now. McGraw continues to throw. Now the ground crew is leaving the field, and we're just about ready to resume play. The Mets are leading the Pirates by a score of 5-3. The Pirates are batting in the bottom half of the 11th inning. There is nobody out, and Roberto Clemente is the runner at first base as Willie Stargell steps in. There have been no pitches yet to Stargell. Play was suspended before a pitch was made to him. McGraw checks the runner. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a called strike. The left-hand batter, Willie Stargell. Still, Hodges made the change to the left-hander Tug McGraw with the full knowledge that Stargell and Oliver would be coming up, both left-hand batters. There's a swing and a high pop back of third, and Foy is there in foul territory at the moment. Makes the play in foul territory. third, to left, and grounded out second to first. This is his second year. Mike Jorgensen, first baseman, playing behind the runner. It's not Clemente's run they're interested in. It's the run at the plate they're interested in. That's the tying run. Here's a swing and a foul ball. Let it come from the dugout. Now it's a hit for a play. But it's the play. So Oliver has fouled out. It'll be Alou coming up. Play is held up again as youngsters come out onto the field. Now it is strike one to Gene Alley at the plate. McGraw started him off with a big curveball. Now we're going to continue play with park policeman in the warning track in the outfield. At first base, Clemente takes his lead. The Mets are leading 5-3. And again now, play is suspended. As one park policeman who had been a little busy on the other side of the park started off, and they tell him stay out there. So he is. McGraw sets up. Alley's in and waiting. This is a strike one delivery. And it is hit on the ground, foul, up the third base line, out of play. Frank Osiak comes off the coaching lines at third, retrieves the ball, tosses it back to McGraw. It's a two-strike count now to Gene Alley. The Mets trying to get Alley out of there to end the ball game and get themselves an opening day victory here at Forbes Field. The Mets are leading by a score of 5-3. Roberto Clemente takes his lead at first. McGraw with a two-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. The ball game's over. The New York Mets, for the first time in their history, in their 9th year, have won an opening day ball game, defeating the Pittsburgh Pirates in 11 innings. In the 9th inning, or rather in the 11th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk and one left. And the New York Mets are the victors by a score of 5-3. And to tell you something of how this game went, here's Ralph Kiner.
Well, Lindsay, it's only fitting, I guess, that the Mets win their first opening day game in a park where they won their very first game in 1962 after 9 consecutive losses. It was an exciting ball game, well played. The Mets got 2 runs in the first inning off starting pitcher Steve Blass. Pirates started up with a run in the first and a run in the second, and it was 2-2 until the Mets then took the lead by scoring a run in the 6th inning. It was again tied up, and it went that way until the 11th inning. Strong pitching by Steve Blass to start the ball game. He went 10 innings, gave up 3 runs, allowed 9 hits, struck out 9, and walked 2. And the losing pitcher in the ball game was Chuck Hartenstein, who came in the ball game in the 11th inning. In that 11th inning, Mike Jorgensen, who was put in the ball game for defensive purposes, came up to bat for the first time. He singled into left field off the first pitch made by Hartenstein. On the play, Ron Swoboda tried to sacrifice the runner down a second. He bunted the ball right in front of the plate, and the big play of the ball game was when Jerry May threw the ball high to second base for an error, allowing runners to be safe at both first and second on that throwing error. Wayne Garrett then laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt to put runners at second and third, and then Jerry Grote due up was walked to load the bases. Then manager Gil Hodges decided to put in Ken Boswell to pinch hit for the pitcher. Boswell went to the plate, and then Joe Gibbon was brought in, a left-hander, to pitch to Boswell, but Boswell never got to the plate as he was taken out, and Don Clendenin was inserted in his place. And with the first pitch by Joe Gibbon, Don Clendenin singled sharply through the middle of the diamond to drive in 2 runs and give the Mets a 5-3 victory. So the Mets out here winning their very first ball game and winning it in their 9th year opening day first ball game win. Tom Seaver started for the Mets. He went 8 innings, allowed 3 runs, 9 hits, struck out 5, walked none. Ron Taylor picked up the victory in relief. He went 2 innings, did not allow a base hit, retiring all 6 batters he faced. And Tug McGraw came in the ball game to pick up a save as he worked 1 inning, giving up no hits and allowing no runs. 34,249 saw the ball game, and the Mets now have won their first game of the 1970 season. The line score of the ball game, the Mets 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. The Pittsburgh Pirates 3 runs, a total of 9 base hits, 1 error, and they left 6 men on base.
New York Mets Baseball has been a feature presentation of the New York Mets Baseball Network and Rheingold Extra Dry, the beer with a 10-minute head, and was brought to you by STP, the Racer's Edge, and by several local sports-minded businessmen who hope you have enjoyed today's game. and by the staff of WKAJ-FM 102.3 on your dial, who urge you to patronize the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. Remember, you'll hear all the New York Mets games at home or away night and day on your New York Mets station, WKAJ-FM in Saratoga Springs.